helps the
I think
Shelley's
something
in.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Either way,
but
I'd love to go on holiday.
oh yeah, it looks
It's been a while.
absolutely
It's been a
beautiful.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I casted a match back. I think it was Paragon versus Austrian Force, or it was Paragon anyway, and it was me and Kenny, and it was an absolute banger of a match. The thing is, Shelley's turned out to be quite an even standpoint, so it'll be interesting to see, obviously, with the two teams coming up against each other, two teams that we haven't seen before. Well, one team that we haven't seen before, but two teams we haven't seen come up against each other. How that kind of ends up coming about. I mean, especially in T1, we've seen how kind of even it is with like the likes of SSG, TSM going to like kind of overtime and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it'll be a good match to be watching.
Honestly, when I first saw that the map pool was being switched over from theme park to Chalet, I had a bit of a painful moment for me. I do like theme park myself, but I mean, with Chalet, it's a fun map, and I've got to
Yeah,
say, compared to theme park, to watch it, it's amazing. There's so much action happening. There's a kill there, or there's a breach that needs to be happening there. So there's always action, and for the
yeah.
viewer and for casters, I think it's an absolutely amazing map to watch.
Yeah, I think it's very comparable, the two maps, Theme Park and Chalet. Obviously, roamers can really thrive on these two maps, especially on Chalet when you've got think three stairwells to kind of roam up and down, catch people off guard in that big, massive open area that we see so often. You've also got the breach ability. You've got kind of util game. So I mean, all in all, Chalet's got it all. So we'll definitely see what that's like when we kind of get the R's in chat. We're just waiting for them. Our lovely observer will be telling us that soon. So yeah, I mean, Yannick, what else is there to say? Chalet is potentially a really exciting, good kind of even map to come into the map pool.
Yeah, indeed, and interesting about Chalet, right? It's not just a map like well, I was referring. Excuse me, I was comparing to theme park earlier on. Theme park was a very
Yeah,
breach heavy map. Like you'd need a
yeah,
breach at least two or three walls. Do you want to get a good entry into site, especially if you're thinking about like downstairs in armor or upstairs in bunk? You need at least one breach is essential. Otherwise, there's no way if you're getting in. So, Chalet, I would not say it's as breach dependent, but a breacher does go a long way, especially
yeah.
downstairs and upstairs. Speaking of downstairs, if you remember the old chalet downstairs would be the favorite site, and I think that's totally gone lost now in competitive. It's
Yeah.
I think upstairs is now the most favorite site.
Yeah, it's really weird how the kind of reworks ended up with the kind of bottom floor being the least favoured site, especially when you compare it to ranked. Even in ranked, it's kind of the favourite site. So when you compare it to comp, it kind of shows the kind of gap between the players. But yeah, I mean, the thing is though, as time progresses, as we get on and we start to get those kind of meta holds that we see, for instance, like SSG Roma on bottom floor, bottom floor on Clubhouse and like the kind of CC holds with Cade, etc., all that kind of stuff. That'll eventually come. We've got to remember Chalet is still very new. Well, it's been the map pool for quite a long time. It's not been the comp map pool for a long time. So, I mean, it will eventually come. We'll eventually see it, but it is really interesting to kind of perceive and see how this kind of changing flow of the maps, or sorry, the sites.
Interesting that you bring up Cade, and maybe that's a good segue into talking about the bans we might see from these teams.
Yeah.
Do you think a Chalet, excuse me, a Chalet ban? No, we're not banning Chalet, we're playing it. Do you think a Cade ban would be a good thing or something that we could see happening tonight?
Potentially, I think specifically, if I was to choose anybody to ban, potentially a nomad, maybe. I mean, this may be a bit of an off one, maybe a jackal, because the kind of roam game on this map can really thrive. If you can kind of catch people off guard with no nomad, if they're not watching the flank drones, which can happen, by the way, especially in like tier one, T2. Well, we can like definitely kind of get a lot of picks off that, cause a bit of damage. Maybe we delay time by like saying, "Oh, let's go and deal with this flanker." So yeah, that's what I would say in terms of Cade, though. I don't think he's a necessity to ban on Shelley, with the fact that with the main breach you can kind of go above. There's so much kind of soft destruction now. Definitely, I'd say a Buck's a good pick for when you're
Oh
actually
yeah,
playing. So
yeah,
yeah, that's what I'd say.
yeah. Buck indeed. Now look at GTFO's last bans. Of course, a whole different map, Villa. But I think
Yeah.
we can compare Villa and Chalet. There's one thing in common: is the roam game can be very strong with let me just count here. One, two, three, four staircases within Chalet,
Yeah,
if I'm correct, something like that. So they banned Jacko and Malusi. I think the Jacko ban could come back within Chalet, as I said, as I've just
definitely.
mentioned, with the roam presence that could be there from the
Yeah.
defensive side.
Yeah, definitely. The fact that with the Jackal being off the board, obviously, we kind of touched on it just there with the fact that the roamers will be able to hide in these kind of off spots, especially when you've got that little connector next to library, you've got bar, you've got kind of games room as well. I mean, Yannick, you yourself, you've played ranked, you know how it kind of goes when you're catching people off guard and the comms after when you get caught off guard. So, I mean, yeah,
Oh, he was
definitely.
there. What is he doing? Why is he holding that angle? That's such a stupid angle. Just the pure rage, you know.
Who droned that? I thought you droned the right spot.
Yeah, exactly. It's just Siege. It's just blood boiling simulator
Yeah,
2021 at this point.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
exactly. When it happens, you can feel the pain in the pit of your stomach. But I definitely say that the kind of Jacko banner will definitely be good. You kind of watched the game last week and how the teams played more than I did. So at the same time, we'll see how it goes. But definitely a Jacko band's a good one. But in terms of what do you call it? Do you have any picks that you would think for any bands that you think could like potentially let the defenders or the attackers thrive?
That's a very interesting one. I mean, when I think about Siege ban, I think about Thatcher as he's banned every single game, but it's a bit of a cheap one, right? We can't really just say, "Oh,
Yeah,
Thatcher's going to get banned." It's very cheap. I think if I gotta think about an attacker that would be banned, maybe a Maverick. I could see a
yeah, good
Maverick
one.
being banned as an attacker being banned. He's very potent. I mean, not
Yeah,
upstairs as much as you do expose yourself really really badly if you want to open up the lobby side breach upstairs. It's not that good, but on Snowmobile Garage, the Maverick is really really good. On
yeah,
defense though, I have a really tough time thinking about a really good ban. Hmm, uh, Maybe the Malusia. That's just such a
yeah.
standard ban. It's really a ban that everybody can just fill in with no real doesn't really serve a purpose within the map. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And you know what? We're going to get straight into this map. We finally get to stop speculating and actually see what the concrete evidence is as we get ready for the first ban coming from Team Cow. They're the mans who are starting on the defense.
Taking their time to ban here, Team Cow. Defense starts to banning first, and with that, the first ban is going to be a Thatcher, as well predicted with it in air quotes. But the Thatcher ban very standard. You see him almost every map. He's just really good. He disables everything that you can think of, maybe except frost mats. But other than that, anything that works on electricity gets disabled by that Thatcher EMP.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like for instance when you kind of do the old. I don't know if you remember the old bolo like kind of hold when in Villa in the little closet when he had like the Goyle shield and all the ADSs and one my
Oh
magnets stacked
yeah,
up.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah, yeah.
imagine one Thatcher grenade, that thing's gone. That player's gone. So I mean that kind of shows how potent Thatcher can be. And the thing is though, you can rework him as much as you want, and it's just it, what can you do? That's the kind of core ideal of his gadget. But anyway, enough about that. Your prediction of Maverick and Malusi has actually came true as we see them getting banned out. We kind of spoke already about how important these operators can be. Malusi giving off sound calls for any flanking or potentially slowing down operators. And last but not least, a mirror.
Yeah, mirror ban is I'd say on Chalet that's a very good ban. There's a lot of angles that you can hold with a mirror, especially upstairs. Thinking about holding it from like the office half full towards the library hallway. That's tough, man. If you're an attacker and you're facing that just black rectangle of death, you just know at any point there might be a player
Yeah.
behind that can just peek around and boom, you're dead. It's so scary to play against the mirror. So very rightly so that it's being banned, but especially by I think it might have the defending team, but I mean they have to attack at some point, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. You've got to kind of keep your eye on when you come to that split. But looking at the attacker slash defender lineup right now, we see that we've got a Mozzie, a Mute, a Vigil. Oh, looks like players have forgot to take off their skins, but we've got an Ace, Ash, Jackal, Zero, and Sledge. We kind of pointed towards this Jackal and how important he can be for roamers, catching them off guard. So I mean, pretty good pick so far, especially the zero. The zero flank cams will be really good for watching those flanks.
Yeah, I've got to say I haven't seen Zero that often in competitive Siege T4 or Tier 1. Zero is very he's an odd man out. His utility in theory should be really good. It has that one laser zap that can get rid of a mirror window, or well, mirror's not in play at this time, but a mirror window, which is huge if you think about it, or any kind of utility can even finish off a down player. So if you think about it, in theory, a Zero pick is very it's very standard. It's not that far fetched to take a Zero, but in practice we don't really see it that often. I think it's generally because his utility got dwindled down by the nerfs. He lost his
Yeah,
nades, of course, for a Claymore, if I'm recalling that correctly. And
I think
yeah,
yeah.
before he really got into comp, he kind of just got nerfed down to a point where he just isn't that useful anymore.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, the thing is, though, is at the end of the day, he's like a kind of attacker version of the Zero. So, yeah, oh my god, the attacker version of the Zero. I've just realised what I said. I was meant to say the attacker version of the Valkyrie. Typical me getting it all wrong. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, the kind of Zero pick, we don't see it as often, but it is still so effective. And like it's one of those ones where you don't see that often, but when you do see it, you're like, oh, Zero still exists.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. It really is that. And honestly, what I want to see on the defense side is the Aruni.
Yeah,
Aruni has been. I've seen her a couple of times here now. I've casted one Open Division play day and some qualifiers, actually all the ECS qualifiers, and a couple for another league. I haven't really seen as much Aruni as I'd want to see. She's
yeah.
such a potent operator, just so much potential to show us, but just haven't seen
Yeah.
it yet.
She's good for like kind of subbing in. Say, for instance, someone tries to ban out a Wamai. She's good for subbing in because you can kind of put them on those doorways where you see shields kind of attached to. And as well as that, you've got all the soft kind of destruction with that arm. So at the end of the day, when you're kind of playing like a smoke or a Wamai, you can kind of play them more longer at range. Potentially more soft breach, like opening up holes above or potentially below. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to prep phase, you only get 45 seconds. So, I mean, I totally agree with your kind of analysis of the fact that she is a potent operator. She just doesn't get utilised enough.
Maybe the teams need to learn her along. I mean, she's only been here for 2 seasons now, or like 1.5 actually.
Yeah,
So the teams need to really like get into her, get to know her a little bit more. But yeah, as you said, just it eats utility, it eats time, and
yeah,
it's big info gathering as well. It
yeah,
blocks off entry for any living thing
yeah.
to go through that window and hatch and door. So yeah, no, I'd love to see more Rooney at some point here in within ECS.
Yeah, I think there was actually an Rooney pick on that first round. I don't know. I think the rulings is that you actually have to keep your lineups when you go into the, like if the kind of picks have already been made. So I'll be hopefully they don't sixth offer then. Obviously with what we've seen. But interestingly enough, though, they kind of went for a Mozzie Mute Vigil style. I mean, you could say SSG Rome because that's the kind of core operators. Obviously, their Rooney's some have compared her to Castle. So then maybe we could see something similar with a kind of two. It was it a kind of 2-1-2, isn't it? With the kind of how it splits out, and we do have three floors on Chalet.
Yeah, indeed. I'd love to see that, but I don't know if you're thinking about Chalet. Just trying to think about some operators that could really be game changing here for the
Yeah,
defensive side. Of course, as I've mentioned before, the roam game is really big, and the attackers have countered that with that Jackal and the
yeah,
Zero, as you call it, the flank cam's Zero.
yeah.
So for GTFO, they'd be hoping now on their attacking half that can thwart the roam game, as it is very strong in Chile.
Yeah. Well, we're finally getting in. Remember, as I've already said, that the operators have to be picked as they were last time we saw an Ace, Ash, Jackal, Zero, and Sledge. On the defensive side with Mozzie, Aruni, Mute, Vigil, and Yeager. So we're heading to Master Bedroom. We all kind of touched on it before with the fact that this is potentially the meta first pick site. Your kind of how would you compare it to like your CC Cash on Club or maybe your Kid Storms in Oregon? So, I mean, Yannick, what's your opinion on this site? Would you say this should be the meta pick? Do you have an opinion on maybe one of the other sites?
Well, if I'm just going to go through all the sites on Chalet, if you look at downstairs, that red breach that we see nowadays and close to Trench, it's so overpowered, and the fact that once that's open as the defense, you're leaking so much. It's insane how much map control the attackers can gain from that, so I think that cannot be the first pick site anymore. Moving down to Kitchen, the amount of soft destruction you can do from above nowadays in the reworked chalets, and it's absurd. You can get so many kills, you can dislocate almost all of the defense by just going upstairs and gaining control of Master and Office, which is consequently now the side of choice. And yeah, I do agree that this should be the most meta pick right now.
Yeah.
Not that much soft destruction, of course. From below you can have that buck, but none of that on the side of GTFO today, or at least in this round, just yet. So, yeah, it's a little bit more linear, and I'd like to see that played more often. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we saw a wee cheeky Valk cam there getting out, put out to the balcony. We'll see how useful that is. We start to move towards almost, how would you put it, like getting your kind of initial main pressure. We see two players outside of the library as well. That's the Ash and the Ace. So, I mean, it looks kind of standard from what we see. Nothing out of the ordinary from the attackers so far as we are on the 2-minute 10 mark. But yeah, I mean, they've not got much of a heavy roam game either. Most of the defenders are kind of playing towards the site. I don't think we've seen anybody else out towards anywhere you don't usually tend to see them, Yannick.
No, indeed, and I think GTFO has caught on to that. You see South Bark got quite a lot of map control here already on library stairs. Very aggressive stance here. It's already, if he peeks that stairs, he already basically has a line of sight onto the whole site. But that's, of course, reinforced stuff, as we do see here now by Team Cow. So, a lot of map control already established by GTFO, and rightly so, because Team Cow isn't contesting any of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Could come back to bite them, though.
Oh yeah, I totally agree, because it's a turtle-heavy strat so far, and the fact that they've conceded so much of the map already can mean that they could potentially be a detriment in the fact that lets the team GTFO go around, do what they need to do. There's a bit of a pre-fire coming out from Jackal, nothing connecting so far, but one of the scans is giving away that there's a player in bathroom. So, I mean, 2 scans left for him. He's just going to keep pre-firing away. He's got that PDW with plenty of bullets, so he's going to be able to pre-fire all day and continue on what he's doing. Just keeps pre-firing towards that rotate, but nothing connected. And we're finally getting the wall open. 55 seconds, and that's a great bit of, how'd you put it, a great tick off the checklist to get done.
And you're talking about this map control and the lack of run press. You see South Park just freely able to run up against. But I do hear someone going up the library says a suspicion of it. 4 people looking that way, but there's nobody there. But Lansky does get the kill. Very good first pick. Lasky does answer back with 1, but GTFO, they're ready for the refrags, and that's exactly what they do. 4-3 the man count now, with 30 seconds remaining. The push must come out.
Yeah, exactly. Levi and Last getting 2 kills. Levi getting a lovely C4, and it's now a 1 versus 3. Kaseri now left with it all to do, and it's not looking good. 15 seconds left. He's going to have to look towards some hard angles. He pre-fires, but Last finishing it out. I believe that was a 3 or a 4K there. So, I mean, he played so well with the C4, etc.
Very, very good hold here from Team Cow. Interestingly, when GTFO gained all that map control, they kind of took some time to really use it. They were just sitting there waiting for the drones to come in, waiting for that lobby side breach to finally open up by the Ace. And when that happened, you saw South Bark, getting aggressive, peeking piano, but it all was for nothing as a lot of refrags came in from Team Cow. This map won on gunfights and that vital C4 which could really close it out and denied that plant attempt by GTFO.
Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing a pick that I don't see very often. I thought my eyes were deceiving me there, but apparently we're actually going to be seeing a Caveira on Chalet as we head to this bottom floor. I think that what the Team Cow really read GTFO well last on that last round, just sitting in, letting them do the work, and then just kind of believing in themselves to win the frags. Obviously, Team Cow, I think if I remember correctly, you said they won their last game 7-3. It wasn't streamed, unfortunately, but I mean, obviously they must have the kind of mechanical ability to win out the gunfights if they're winning that convincingly.
Yeah, I like to say that Siege, although it is very strat heavy, it's a tactical first person shooter, but that shooter bit is still in the game and can really win some competitive games even if you do have good mechanical skill, and that's exactly what we saw Team Cow utilize. Maybe even last game that they played last week, Friday, and just then in round number 1 of this first game, and Team Cow looking good for a second round here. Going to a totally different site though. We're going to Wine Cellar and Snowmobile. It's a tougher site to hold now. No real breach denial here, except for excuse me. There's a lot of breach denial here with in the form of the Mute and the Bandit. Lasky, you want to see a Bandit? Do you think there's a Bandit trick gonna be coming out here from Team Cow?
Yeah, it's looking likely because it looks as if Lask has got something. If I look to the right here, he's got about 4 bandit batteries still in his pocket, so I'd imagine that he's just kind of waiting away. And we also have, if you look to the left, an ace, which is considered to be almost a counter to that kind of bandit trick, and the fact that he can throw 2 thermal charges in the space of like almost 1 to 2 seconds, depending on how long it is to deploy. I don't actually have that stat on how long it takes to deploy, but yeah, we've got it. So therefore, I mean, I'd say that GTFO are looking good for this kind of take. Jacko's kind of waiting on that kind of blue stairs. He's trying to see if he can see anybody to get a pick there. Sorry, but Ash and Sledge are throwing kind of Ash charges and frags, but that doesn't matter because GTD, he's going to get the first frag on the board, and it's the Caveira that I was talking about.
Yeah, very easy map control yet again for GTFO. That Caveira was nowhere to be found. Not quite sure where she eventually perished there by the side of JTD, or by the gun of JTD, excuse me. But a lot of map control yet again established by GTFO early on. With 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining, they should use that to their advantage. Not only do they have gap control, they now have 3 kills on the board. And it's only Lasky and Levi, the 2 breach denials that I was highlighting early in the round, that need to hold onto the site for dear life. Well, 5 attackers are surely about to crush down onto them.
Yeah, that's definitely the case here. There's already but 1 being droned out in blue. There's a bit of pre-firing going towards here, and Ash swings, and there goes another kill. GTD finishing up the round and making it flawless for GTFO. A good answer back, all in all. The fact that they were lost the last round, but weren't able to kind of close out this one as it was flawless. I'd definitely say probably potentially the problem with that round was the fact that Team Cow never really kept up with the refrags. Last time they played really close, tight knit as a group. They didn't really have much roamers, but this time they had a cav on the board. So, I mean, would you say that maybe the roamer was actually the one that caught them out this time?
I'm not sure. I didn't quite catch where the Caveira was last round. I really doubt there's going to be another Caveira pick here. She's probably going to get 6 picked off of. That's exactly what's going to happen to the Aruni. But yeah, no, this yet again lack of map control here from Team Count. Worked for them the first time around. They got a lot of good refrags, as you've highlighted, in the Master Hold, but nothing of that sort's in Wine. It's a flawless round from GTFO to convincingly win this site. Now they're going to go back down here again. The change that we see here now is the Legion instead of the Mute and the Aruni instead of the Caveira. I hope there's still going to be a roam presence here. Otherwise, it might be looking really, really bad for them. And that roam presence is one thing, but it needs to be effective as well. It's got at least 1 kill on the board. And, I mean, for the side of Team Cow, you'd hope it's going to be the Heart Breacher.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll definitely see what happens here. The Goyle pick's quite interesting to me. The kind of utility being placed in towards that. I don't know what the kind of call out is there, but deep onto like kind of that pillar area where that Goyle's just placed his shield. We've got the kind of roamers up above. Would you say that the roamers are necessary for kind of keeping this site? Obviously, we saw the Caveira getting picked last time, but how would you kind of like analyze this site? Would you say to make it work? Because so far we've not seen it work that much in all tiers of like kind of play.
I think a roam play, well done correctly, could be really big here. Valiant getting into a gunfight, no real fruits to be had here off of that gunfight. It's going to scare GTFO a little bit. I think a roam should be, at least 1 play on the roam should be big. This also scares the attackers off a little bit, right? Like you need to... It makes them wary of their surroundings. You need to make them double check the corners. Flank drones need to be held, and with that you delay some time. Time something that GTFO still have plenty of now with 2 minutes remaining, and here we go. Triple gonna go for a flank. We saw the Arunia Valiant getting a little bit aggressive early on as well. Let's see if that can really amount to anything here for Team Cal, this roam game that we'll be seeing here.
Yeah, exactly. We're setting up to some sort of firefight here as we see Faro. He's up on that kind of rappel on the big master window, as well as player on towards that piano. It's the Ash waiting to see if she can get anybody off. We've now got a Jackal track, so we know exactly where this Jaeger could be. But is the Jaeger going to drop off, or is he going to try and take those gunfights? We've now got a C4 off the board, as well as the bandit battery, so therefore the Ace can go to work and do what he needs to do, get the attackers into good positions. Now, more feet coming off. I believe that was the Legion that was getting kind of Jackal track there. So therefore, we look here, we've got all 5 players back on site. That's a minute 20 left on the board, Yannick. So, I mean, plenty of time wasted from these kind of roamers, or one roamer of Jaeger, and the kind of aggressive peaks from the other players. I would say this is a good roam from Team Cow, and they've done the work that they need to do. But the question is GTFO got enough time to do their work and actually do the kind of util work that they need to, that needs to be done to kind of win this site?
The sledge opening angles from up above is surely going to pressure the defenders, and with that, the first one's going to fall. It's going to be the Goyo. Gone is his Vector, together with JTD, getting another one into triple. A few Jaeger off the board. All of your soft or passive utility defenders are now off the board. Only the Bandit and the Bandit is kind of soft or passive, but let's just glance over that right now. 30 seconds remain here for GTFO. They've got the walls open that they need to. South Barrack is going to start pushing down blue stairs. The collapse is surely imminent here as the attackers are setting up on their posts, ready to take on the gunfights. 3 defenders is going to make it tough, even tougher now when there's 2 only on the board. Lasky does found 1, but South Barrack going to get 1 as well. And now it's the Bandit all alone in a post-plant situation, and he needs to find 4, and with that also defuse the diffuser. The Ash Prone is in an angle that he does not expect, and with that GTFO win another attacking round very convincingly here on on Chalet.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting here. They've picked the bottom floor twice and now they've lost it twice. I wonder if they'll actually continue with this trend, stay below, or go back upstairs to where they've actually won. I'd imagine they would. And there we go. There goes the master bedroom pit. So, I mean, we've kind of already touched on it. We don't need to kind of dwell on this kind of point anymore. With the fact that the bottom floor site hasn't been working. We've already seen that evidently enough with GTFO taking 2 rounds on the board. I hope Team Cow kind of realise this and maybe change off, potentially go for something, I don't know, something different when they after this round, if they actually win this round. But we need to focus on it. We're going back to Master Bedroom.
Yeah, it's a wise pick here. Excuse me, really the only pick that you could see Team Cow making right now. It's kind of a no-brainer on their side. The only side they won, although they won it very convincingly. I wouldn't say it's very convincing, but they didn't win it right. It's the only side that got you on the board, so it's logically that you'd come back to it now when you're starved for rounds after losing 2 downstairs. If history repeats itself, they're going to win this one again. Yeah. And I want to talk about the round after that just really, really shortly here. I want to see them go to a different site because this is not working for them. Downstairs is not working for them. They keep getting squashed by GTFO. And of course, Chalet, especially in Tier 1, a little bit more attacker-sided, but you still need at least 2. And for the love of God, for Team Cow, get 3 on the board. Otherwise, it's going to be really tough on their attacking half.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But we head on forth to the next round, on to the Master Bedroom Assault, as the players start to do their ingress towards the site. I mean, I totally agree with everything you've just said here, Yannick, with the fact that Team Cow looking to be in a precarious situation. This time, though, they're not actually playing that close to site. They're doing kind of soft roams. There's a bit of damage lost on the 0 player of Kaseri. I don't want to make an attempt to do that whole name in case I end up insulting someone. But yeah, I mean, I'd definitely say that the way they played it last time, playing close for refrags, trying to see if they can do that again will be good. And it looks so far so good as there's damage only on one side, and that's the side of GTFO.
Yeah, it's a roam game and a little aggressive stance here from Team Cow. You saw how the first round GTFO established so much map control within the first minute. Not this time. GTFO has been pushed back, or I say pushed back, but given the reality here, a little bit of of a reality check here by Team Kala. We exist as well. We might not be standing in the places where you want to gain map control, but we're here and we're here to take the peaks as well. And Pharaoh and Lam2 really the victims of that aggression from Team Cal. But no, as you said, no HP lost. This is a very good play here. We see the ace of Slyka making his first push against Library. Remember, the Ashe was on that stairs where she is right now about a minute earlier last time around. And this time she's even taking damage.
Yeah, exactly. The Mozzie's been a lot more aggressive this time, actually taking the gunfight, but not getting picked off either. The Ashe just unlucky. And there we go, there's our first pick. Triple getting onto JTD. He's been playing so well this game. He's already got 3 frags and 3 assists. And there's a beautiful shot from Valiant. That's the Jackal off the board. That's the kind of intel that they've been using all game. I mean, Team Cow are actually doing really well. They've shown how they won this last time. The Ashe is going to pre-fire towards Piano, but not actually get the pick. Mozzie's trying to catch her off guard, but there we go. There's a refrag. The first refrag, and it's 4-3 to Team Cow.
HP is not looking really good. The overall HP pool for GTFO with 30 seconds remaining. They need to start making a push here. The first utility has been dumped to the Aruni Gate as South Park is going to lose even more HP. But in trade for that, he's going to get a kill onto the Jaeger, evening out the Man Cow. But HP not even close. Team Cow have more than double the HP of GTFO right now. And with the push being imminent, it's going to be a game changer here. Southbank deciding to go into Piano. Piano Balcony gets his defeat, and that's going to do a lot of damage, even downing Levi, and it's all down to Lasky in a 1v3. Finds one, and Slyka is going for the plant. Lancer needs to cover, and that's exactly what he's not really doing. Putting Ace in quite the tough spot. Does get the C4 off, and that's his Ace now dead. Levi still down, but not out. Kind of acting as a drone here. Maybe he can give some sound code over to Lasky, but Lasky's in quite the tough situation. Peeks the window and is going to start defusing. Pros don't fake. But is Lasky going to fake this? He's going to need to. Does he want to win this? And that's exactly what he does! He gets the 180 onto Lantu, and that's the 0 dead! And he has plenty of time to defuse the bomb. What a flick here from the Valkyrie to end round number 4 for Team Cow.
This precarious situation just looks that little bit better. They've got 2 rounds on the board, equaling it out. They just need one more, and then that's it. That's them got 3 rounds, the kind of standard that you need when it's an attacker-sided map. So that was a really good kind of clutch there. Try to keep them in the game from last. That Valkyrie player, that C4 was beautiful. Pardon me. But Levi, when he got picked off, and then the other player, and it was at 1 versus 3, I was like, surely this isn't a throw from GTFO. Surely that's them. They win the top floor site and they just start to look better and better in a 3-1 situation. But no, that's not the case. And Team Cow, yeah, they bring it back.
Lasky went big last time as well for now number 1. On the Valkyrie, also on Master, winning the round for Team Cow, getting the C4 kill on the Planter. It seems that GTFO put the plant down in the same position as the first, and Lasky reaped the benefits of that, knowing the position, throws the C4 and gets the kill with his teammate down. This is kind of a tough situation, but still, he was up to the task, getting that beautiful flick onto the 0. I honestly thought once that 0 jumped in and I didn't see the Valkyrie get off the defuse, I thought that was it. I thought that was GTFO getting round number 3 for them. Or, excuse me, the 3rd round on the board for them.
Yeah.
But no, he just turned around, and with that turned the whole prospect of the game around.
Yeah, I totally agree. Interestingly enough, though, enough about last round, we'll talk about this one, sorry, Yannick, just to move on. But they've actually brought a pick that we don't see very often. If we look towards Valiant, we've actually ended up with, I mean, my pals, my friends, they call him Roy de Magoo. He's been brought out. The fact he'll be able to jump up and down hatches and kind of catch people off guard, because there is a lot of hatches on Chalet. It's quite an interesting pick.
Well, an angle there from the 0, something I haven't seen before in my ranked games. I might be lacking a little bit here, but interesting angle. And what's also going to be really interesting is Pharaoh getting the first one to triple. Early aggression here is going to get punished, but Valiant has the same to say to Pharaoh getting the kill too. And with that, we're all level. A Muzzy for a Jackal. Fair trade, you'd say. Both are just men with a gun, but Jackal has quite the interesting ability if you think about it. That's quite a big loss for GCFO. That roam game might come and become more potent this round.
Yeah, exactly. The information is going to be off the board for where those roamers are positioned. Even just knowing there's some footsteps kind of around that area shows that, you know what, there's been some sort of presence. And you know what, they're not going to have that anymore. They're just going to have to work off the drones that they have left on the board. As we see that Ash, she's on her drone. One operator you don't see on the drone very often, but you know what, you need to chip in when you're a man down. Anyway, they're doing some sort of assault in towards this kind of master area. As we see, we're trying to get the kind of roamers of mute. And there we go, Valiant, never mind. He's going to get the frag onto South Park. And that's your Ash, the entry gone, who's been playing well. 6 and 3 so far. So that's a good gun to get off the board. So, oh, and there's another one. Valiant again. Just stop. You can't stop this man at all. And there goes the 0.
You can't stop Valiant. What Valiant is doing amazing is stopping the push onto piano and office and master bedroom. It's really important. I talked about kitchen site in round number 1, about how that site really plays, and what's really the crux of that round is getting top 4 control, opening up the floorboards. That's exactly what Valiant is denying here. Lasky denying Team GTFO of the last slither of hope by killing one more player, and JTD is stuck. He is exclaved and needs to find 4 kills, doesn't even have the diffuser in hand, and time is running oh so low. Tick-tock goes the clock, and with that, any chance for GTFO to claw back. Team Cow looking for round number 3 on the board here, putting them really, really good on their defensive half. Ooh, Lasky prone. That was a really tough situation there for JTT. Imagine if he just got 2 guns pointing towards you. That'd be really disheartening. He does fall to his demise. Round number 3 for Team Cow. Could we see a 4-2 split?
That would be very interesting if Team Cow actually managed to bring this back with how good GTFO looked on those bottom floor attacks. This is the thing though, Valiant, I mean, you could potentially say he won them the round with the 3 picks that he got on that top floor, Yannick. I mean, we saw him, he couldn't move him, he's an immovable object. Those muscles, I mean, you would expect that from a man like that. But this time we're not actually going to see a sledge. They're not being rigid in the lineup that they've been. Sorry, they've been very rigid in the lineup so far. But we're actually seeing a Dokkaebi, another Intel operator. So that's 3 Intel ops on the board. Obviously, Intel is the game that you need to play when you're playing Siege, and you need to find out where these players are playing.
Indeed, it's Dokkaebi giving you that a really annoying phone call. Phone call nobody likes. A phone call from hell, especially when you're on camera. The whole screen just goes black, and it's really scary. Part of that death squad, right? That really annoying call center squad. I think that's what McCready called it when we were doing our staff match. You know, Lion, Dokkaebi, Jackal. Got parts of that here, the Jackal as well. But, yeah, no, indeed, the Dokkaebi is just really strong. You just don't want to be called. It's really annoying to have your phone vibrating in your pocket while we're in a gunfight. It's just, it's really annoying.
I just hate my phone vibrating in general, to be honest. So I can imagine what it's like in a game. Never mind. Sorry, I can imagine. I hate it in real life. Never mind in a game. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they're just playing this Intel game. Oh no, is this going to be a kind of wine cellar rush here? As we see all the players just hitting that shift button, shift W forward, and there goes the Dokkaebi call, and it's looking like a rush, Yannick, as they try to catch the players off guard, and they've already gained control of site. Oh no, there goes the first pick, and there's a refrag already. Last playing so well, Farrell getting the 2, and never mind, and Levi and Valiant, they're put in a bad position as the diffuser goes down, and it's 2 versus 2. Never mind, 2 versus 1, Yannick, and Valiant, he's just popping off, and it's like he's got to control this site. He's got to make sure that no one gets this defuse, that he doesn't die. Levi getting aggressive, and the C4 doesn't hit the 2 players, and they're going to win it. The 2 left on the board for the defenders. That was so well played as the impacts come out, and it's 4-2 for the side of Team Cow. Something that we didn't expect when it was the kind of after the 3-round mark.
Honestly, when I saw Wine Cellar again, I was kind of like, no, what are you guys doing? You guys lost it twice. There's so many more sites to go for, and I think GTFO kind of went, well, we won it twice really easily. Let's do it again. Let's run in and kills galore, but no. Team Cow just didn't want any of it, getting the kills back, and really well played from that retake. They lost control of Wine Cellar almost immediately, but the guns came flying out. The Jaeger and the Legion, 2 big players there for Team Cow that round, winning it out. and securing them 4 rounds now on their first defensive half on a map that is controversially a little bit, excuse me, that is a bit more attacker-sided. Could this be the end of GTFO? Could that one round spell the end for GTFO and losing points, Cairo? Could this be them looking back on this VOD and being, oof, well, we really shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be thinking, do you know what, this was here for the taking. They've never looked as if they've been out of touch from Team Cow. Team Cow have just been pulling it back constantly. It's just like, I don't even know what you would call them, like kind of like a priest bringing back someone from the dead. I don't know, some sort of like exorcism or the likes. But that's the way it seems to be. Team Cow are in possessed form here, bringing back the rounds that they need to. So I would say maybe GTFO. I don't know where they're going wrong, because they're doing the things that they need to do, but they're just not closing out rounds, and maybe it's something down to executes, kind of creating those crossfires, making sure that put yourself in a position where you don't need to win your wins, but you win the gunfights that you need to win and get the picks that you need. Like, for instance, we saw how many times have we seen that flag come out? Something that just catches the players off guard. It's just heartbreaking to see.
GTFO now, though. Oh, Team Cow also quite aggressive here on their wine cellar attack. Could this be a little bit of a rush of some sort? Not really a rush, but it's definitely really aggressive here. Letting GTFO know that they're coming from the wine cellar side, giving them the information, and now GTFO can start reacting to it. Maybe send some players on the flank. You see South Park down right in the back there. You should see his silhouette. He's up above. He's going to come down blue stairs. We'll see if that is going to be big. Could be huge. Not blue stairs, excuse me. That's going to be the back stairs. South Park finds one, and with that needs to retreat as his location is now known. But a very good start here from GTFO to claw a map back, excuse me. 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining, and they're 1 man up.
Yeah, they're 1 man up, and they've done a lot of work. They've done a lot of work in terms of getting that ash off the board. They have, though, got the kind of wall open for this kind of wine cellar execute, the one that you need to get open. The rest can kind of stay closed. We do see this Vigil, he's still up above on that hatch, trying to see if he can catch players off. We know where the smoke is, we've seen the ping. Pharaoh, he's still upstairs as well. So we're going to see, maybe they don't play this player above, because I don't see any silhouettes up there. And there we go, there's the Jaeger getting 2 frags off straight away. But Levi, he's get the refrag, but he doesn't know the mute's there as well. No Rhino left in a 4 versus 1.
GTFO getting aggressive, and that's what's going to work for them as Slyko finds the last kill. And GTFO, they win a round back after throwing one away with that rusher. Very, very good start of their defensive half. Winning wine cellar, something that Team Cow could only do the last time around, giving them a giving me a good feeling about their defensive half here. Going towards master bedroom now, second site of choice.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the fact that maybe they were like, do you know what, we'll go to this bottom floor and see if we can catch them off guard. And then Team Cow tried to go for the rush, and then, do you know what, just gave them the round. They're like, do you know what, you gave us a round, we'll be generous and give you a round back. So we head up, I thought we were going to head upstairs, but no, we're actually heading to kitchen dining, and we're seeing the pog mat being brought.
I already wrote down master bedroom in my little notes here, and it's kind of tough to fit in kitchen. we'll make it work. Kitchen. Interesting site rotation here from GTFO. They, as we've talked about before, right? We both said master bedroom and office is basically the meta at this point, but GTFO want nothing of that. They don't want to play against play with the rules. They play following the rules. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. They don't want to follow the standard conventions. They'll do what they want to do, and going to kitchen is definitely one that is kind of odd to me, but it might work out, might throw Team Cow off. A lot of self-destruction still, though, on the side of Team Cow, so it should make it work for them. As I said before, to really attack kitchen successfully, you need to attack it from above. Something that Valiant did really well when they were at... Excuse me, wow, I'm really stumbling my words, excuse me. Something Valiant did really well when Team Cow was defending kitchen was denying that top floor control. Oh, and no. Valiant is also going to deny one of those Maestro cameras really early on. And Maestro's just going to go in his cameras and be like, wait, what? I did put down my second camera, right? Wait, what? Where did it go?
I can just imagine the comms when the players been like, Maestro, have you not placed your second cam yet? And then realising, oh no.
Oh, that's a Twitch, no.
Yeah. Well, it looks as if we're going to be heading to the library for our ingress in towards the map. There's a couple of players, we see at least two out on that balcony. They're trying to see if they can maybe find out, get the information that they need to see if there's one player below.
Oh no,
Valiant, though,
Pogba!
he doesn't have the information on the Pogmat, and that's the first Pogmat of the season, potentially. Hopefully, we'll see more, but I don't know. All I do know is there's one player down, there's a couple of pre-fires coming out, the Jaeger's not connecting, and you know what, he's going to drop off, he's done his work. They don't know where he's at now, so that's, I mean, a lot of information, a lot of kind of time wasted so far.
He's
Oh
coming
no.
back for round number 2, coming up the library stairs. Someone in games, though, that needs to be wary about, and that's exactly what he's doing. Very, very smart plays here from the Jaeger. He's going to push into the library yet again through a different doorway. Does Levi expect this? Maybe not, as he is going to take another round, dropping all the way back to office and master bedroom. 1 minute and 30 remaining, and still no top floor control from Team Cow, except for library. It's been really slow, and a lot of HP off of Valiant by that Pogmat. Of course, the Pogmat very, very strong at catching your ankles.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pretty sore one to be kind of having. If I was to have it in real life, I wouldn't like to be that person. Look at this though. Is that 4 I count upstairs? I don't know if I can if the observer can kind of show that again. There goes one Twitch drone. That's them all off the board, and Faro, he's going to go off the board as well. As Lask gets aggressive, there goes 2 as Rhino starts to make his ingress in towards the master building. There's a couple of refrags coming out here as GTD and South Park make the work that they need to do. Rhino, Levi, and Triple left for it all to do.
Do Team Cow think the site is upstairs? Because they're really, really focused on getting upstairs control, while they,
No.
exactly, could just go downstairs and take the map for themselves. That's exactly what they've realized right now, and GTFO need to adapt to that. Levi does get a kill, shortening down GTFO's man count as well, and the plant now goes down. Lantu with the SMG gets the kill into Levi. South Park with one as well, and it's all down to Triple in a 1v2. South Park starts to stick. He needs to stick. Does he want to win this? But Triple denies it, and now it's a 1v1. Triple on low HP, and the SMG hits hard, and that's exactly what he does. Triple's head gets taken clean off, and Lantu gets all the time he needs to counter defuse, and GTFO win their second defensive round.
Wow. It took them, I think, 45 seconds at the time, or 25 seconds to take back that site, 7 seconds to get the defuse off. I mean, that was just great from GTFO, the way they kind of brought it back. I mean, a bit lack on holding the site, I would say, not leaving one player below. They just get caught off guard. That could have been detrimental. I was a bit worried when it kind of got into that post-plant situation. But the defenders, their mechanical ability, their awareness of where the players were was just superior in a sense. So, yeah, I mean, well done to them. 4 each on the board now. And you've already touched on it. GTFO looks so strong on their defense, and yet we've not hit this meta site yet. So, interesting to see. Is GTFO going to be able to take the lead, or is Team Cow going to bring it back?
Team Cow now, it's a tough spot for them, right? They have seen GTFO pick 2 off sites, and they might as well think, well, the 3rd site now, they could go somewhere really, really weird, like games or something like that. Ooh, I don't want to go to games. But no, it's gonna be the meta pick, as you've said. Yeah, it's gonna be master bedroom pick by GTFO. We're at a site where Team Cow won twice, so they'd want to win it here as well as the attacking side now. But it's just a really, really strong site, and the way GTFO has been winning their defenses, winning their gunfights as well, it seems very, very unlikely to me for Team Cow to really have an answer back to this. They're leaving one wall soft, though, towards library. Could this be a sign of some cheeky bullet holes, some punch holes, to put some more pressure on the Team Cow, and they're going to push up library? Well, we're going to see. What we did see, though, is GTFO, when they did attack the site, they gained so much map control because of the lack of roamers from the defensive side. And look at this, JTD downstairs, the Jaeger of South Park upstairs in library, playing aggressively. This is exactly what I mean by a roam game, and this is going to slow Team Cow down on their attacks.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be really interesting. You've already pointed towards that kind of bullet holes or the kind of punch holes that they've already made. I believe that was the mute that made them. And oh no, is that a blitz that I see? They're going for a Solarium take by the looks of things and have already got control. See, I prefer a Solarium take to the kind of, how would you put it, the meta main take that we see so often. This mute's closing the door and they don't even know it. I hope the blitz doesn't get caught out. Oh, and there he is. He's peeked out and they know he's there now. Oh wait, sorry, it wasn't even the mute. It's the smoke. I'm talking nonsense. But yeah, I mean they've got a minute off the board and they've done a lot of work in terms of gaining control. The wall now gets open. The Jaeger's losing health. And look, there's Valiant. He's in sight already. So that's just looking so good for Team Cow.
The smoke is in a real tough spot. He gets down. Does Ash know it? Yes, he will now. Lantu, though, gets a refract. Reno is putting the diffuser down. With that, we've entered the post-plant situation. Lasky answered with 1, and Lantu and JTD now need to make it work for themselves. The blitz with the shield is going to make it really tough. The C4 from below will hit absolutely nothing. Levi with the nade to maybe do some more damage. It does nothing but destroy some precious floorboards. Lantu gets to go into the blitz, and with that, it's only Levi. It's turning around completely. 20 seconds now left for the defuse, and Lantu's on the cover. JTD, he can't stick it. Yes, he will, as Levi's gonna fall a quad from the frost. The SMG hits so hard, and exactly, it'll hit hard on the attacking team here, putting them down to the grave after such an amazing plant situation. All they had to do was hold, but they could not do it. And GTFO have now taken the lead.
This is crazy. This is crazy stuff. I think that what the past 2 rounds have like the plants got down and Team Cow have not been able to hold it. That's in fact, yeah, it's just the past 2 rounds, isn't it? It's not the past 3, if I remember correctly. So that's crazy. The fact that GTFO have been so dominant on the retakes. Maybe this is what they're playing for. Maybe this is what their strategy is: playing into their hands, making sure that they use the mechanical ability to their kind of advantage. Because I mean, when you put yourself in that situation, make sure you catch the defenders off on the retake, because that's where they're positioned. We're positioned in perfect places. So I would say, you know what? GTFO, they're playing so well. And you know what? That's a full site rotation completed. That is 5-4. We're confirming there's going to be 11 rounds, and maybe GTFO win it on the comeback.
Yeah, this is the first time they're back in the lead after round number 3, where GTFO won wine on their attacking side, and their defenses have been looking very strong here. Team Cow, they're so lost. They've lost the full side rotation now. They know they're going back to wine. They must know to be prepared for it now. They could have been caught off guard by it the first time, and rightfully so. You don't really expect someone to go down to the weakest site on Chalet, for Christ's sake, in the first round. Yeah, more aggression coming in from GTFO. Gonna be scaring Team Cow, wasting more of that precious time of the attackers. Oh no, they're not even shooting default cans, Cairo. No, they're doing all the basics wrong now.
Yeah, I mean, we know this even from rank. There we go. The Ash is finally going to get rid of that default, but it's too late. The defenders know exactly where they're coming from. I don't know if they're going to drop off here. I hope so, because look at this. We've got a Cade and a Vigil already waiting with their arms open wide, waiting for these frags to come in. Anyway, we're 2 minutes and 15, and it looks like this. Oh no, is that the first frag? Is that an Iana drone? I can't even tell. Yeah, it is. I can see the countdown going down. I was panicking there if the Vigil had maybe get caught off guard. But now we've gained control of Library. The defenders have dropped off. I was kind of worried there for Team Cow. The kind of information was given out, but JTD, he takes out Valiant, and there it goes. A 4 versus 5. It's looking good again from GTFO. They're able to get this first initial frag.
Yeah, it's going to be oh so important, pushing Team Cow back. They lost their entry fragger, their spearhead into any map control they want to gain, and now they have to switch back to their secondary choice. It's going to be triple on the Zofia. They're taking some pot shots at the wall, but there's nobody there to receive them on the other end. There's going to be some lead wasted. JTD does get refragged, or he's down. I'm not sure he's going to get the refrag. I don't think they really know that he's down. No, it's going to be a couple of wall banks. Or shot through a couple of walls, and he's going to get revived, and with that, the man count is still 5-4. GTFO looking very, very strong. The Ace doing some heart-breaching magic, but Team Cow, their guns need to start blazing, but that's not what's happening. South Park gets one to Levi, and Sudoku off the board. Still no real valuable operators off the board yet for Team Cow. They still have all the means necessary to win this round. It's just that their guns need to start waking up right now and killing some of these defenders.
Yeah, definitely. The goats at Fancy Oranges are definitely fancying this match. That's what I would say, Yannick, because Kasseri, he's actually going to go down, but Rhino, he takes out Farah, and it's looking, again, as if it's going to be a good game, or a good execute. JTD, though, he's going to refrag out. I thought that maybe Team Kill were going to bring it back, and it's 2 versus 4. Is that man? We get another revive. We get a refrag though, Slyka taking out Rhino, and now it's a Zofia left, only with 2 impact charges and 2 breaching charges. 2 drones on the board though, so maybe some information, but only 10 seconds left. I'd say that's all she wrote about this round, but maybe I'm talking nonsense as there goes the first frag. There is a player upstairs, Triple gets the second, and it's... I was just about to say, maybe he could get the second and the third, but that's not the case. As we say, there's a man on the floor, just kind of crawling about.
GTFO secured themselves 1 point now within the ECS Open Division, and they're hungry for more as they're looking to get a clean sweep on their defense. They're having 1-4. They need 1 more to seal the deal, getting the 3 points they want. If they throw this now, if they miraculously lose 2 defenses, that's all up to them. They have thrown those 2 points in the bin. But what they have now is 1 point, and they're looking to triple that. Just going back towards Wine, that defense, honestly, GTFO, they're just doing everything right, and Team Cow seem to be doing even the defaults wrong. I was talking about in the beginning, they didn't even shoot the default cam, Cairo. It's such a standard thing to do. You spawn in, you look at the cam, you press mouse 1, and that's it. That's the only thing you do, but no. They had to get red pinged before they finally shut the cam. I honestly reckon if GTFO or a member of GTFO didn't hold down X to scan for opponents, they would have left that can hanging there for the rest of the round. It's shameful.
It's kind of, you know what it screams to me? It screams... I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm sorry, Team Cow, but it just screams laziness to me. I mean, how do you not know to check your default cams? Even a single bullet does the job to make sure it's gone. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I don't know what you can say, Yannick, because now it's 6-4, GTFO on match point. They've confirmed the overtime that they needed to confirm, and they're looking pretty good as well. Like, I mean, they've not lost a single defending round. That's 4 rounds unanswered so far, and at that point, you start to ask questions about, can Team Cow actually bring this back? What's their mentality like? I thought they were going to get caught off by another POG map, but it doesn't seem to be the case. As now we've got library control, and it's 2 minutes 30 on the clock. Pretty good timing so far.
Yeah, good map control here early on, but still, only library control won't get you far. South Park, though, kill on a him does get you quite the distance. 2 minutes still on the board, more and enough time for them to work with. Levi is down, though, not quite sure where he's down, but he's been picked up by now, so you know what, we'll just look over that. A lot of map control, but it's very, very quick from Team Cow. They do still have the Ace outside on K9, looking to open up that breach into half wall. That's not the Ace, that's the Zofia. Wow, actually just messing up operators here. But we are looking into the round now. Less than half has elapsed, and as you said, a lot of map control here by Team Cow. Could this be the first round they win in the second half of the game?
Oh, I don't know, potentially, but you know what? The kind of Frost there has got answers of his own, and he's going to get that beautiful frag. GTD as well, and that's Frost. He needs to calm down. That's 13 on the board for him, and he's looking like he ain't going to stop. It's 4-2 man count. Make that 4-1 in Valiant. He's got to pick out 4 in this round if he wants to stop Team GTFO winning out. He's going to put us smiley faces. I think he realises what's going to happen here. It's just... I don't know what to say, Yannick. I think it's maybe all she wrote.
I think this is it as well. Pharaoh with the run out Valiant can't even reply to that. He was spotted. He knew where he was. But, no, the mute from a distance. That SMG packs a punch. But even from that long range, it's done. This is all she wrote, as you said. GTFO winning 7-4. With a flawless streak on their defensive half. And honestly, I said at round 6 that when GTFO threw around, this might be something to look back on with regret, but man, did they come back. That Lantu with 13 kills, he got stunned, and the Zofia peeked and he's like, I don't care. It's alright, stunned. Burt goes the SMG, and so get the kill. So honestly, well played. Well played by the GTFO.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the fact that the kind of GTFO threw a couple runs on the attack, I was thinking to myself, maybe this is it. Team Cow's just kind of saunter on through on their attack because it's, as we've already mentioned, attacker-sided map. You're putting yourself in an advantageous position. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the statistics say because anything can happen in Rainbow Six Siege, and anything did happen. As that was 5 rounds unanswered. All I'm going to say, Team Cow, please work on your attack.
It might just be that Chalet isn't their map. I'm just going to pull up the stats from the last game that I did mention before. That was on... Cannot see which map it is. I should be able to see it. It's going to be on Oregon. They won 7-3 when they started defense first. We saw here that they do have the potential to show that... Sorry, they have the potential that they need to succeed with an open division, but we just didn't see it here. And it might just be because Chalet is in their map, but who knows. All that we do know, and what is certain, is that they're going to be going home today with 0 points, but GTFO, the goats that fancies oranges, now will have 3 more points in the bag.
Yeah, definitely 3 points in the bag. A win in the bag, so they'll be extremely happy. I think, though, Yannick... we're going to head to a quick break just while we wait on this map. Just getting ready and behind the scenes. But we'll thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, Yannick.
Something like that. I assume that's about the
time. Right, see you guys soon. Just do the same as last time.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, for map number 2 of 3 of ECS Open Division Playday number 3. It's the 21st of April. I was just reading what I've noted down. It's 21st of April, and I'm here to bring you map number 2, or game number 2, excuse me, between Chaos Disciples and Happy Team, and with me, the lovely Kyra.
Yeah, exactly. We are the happy team after that exciting match last on a kind of Shally. That map was. I mean, it's a hard one to follow, let's be honest, Yannick. It was back and forth clutches here, there, and everywhere. So, I mean, I'm excited to see how Happy Team and Chaos Disciples actually are able to follow that one up. Unfortunately, no, it's not as an exciting match. We're actually heading to Oregon. I mean, we know how it goes. We know how these kind of teams tend to play out Oregon when they're going for attacks, but maybe these teams can put their own spin on it and make us, as I said, the happy team.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this CCV last week when I was casting with him. Excuse me for that. And what I did talk to him about is that Open Division is very unpredictable. There's a lot of strategies that might come around and you think like, wait, what is he doing? Wait, it's working? Wait, what? Yeah. So, if you're going to see something very different out of the norm, it might be Open Division, or it might be Major Division. Who knows? But what I'm sure to bring you here today is two teams that we have seen before, though. Chaos Disciples and Happy Team. I have casted both of them, and this could be a very, very tense match. I'm just going to glance over Happy Team right now. Casted them, they played Villa last time around. Had a bit of a shaky start on their attack. But once they came onto the defensive side, it was a steamroll through as they won 5 in a row to win the map 7-4. And I'm just going to touch up on Chaos Disciples in their clubhouse game. Just going to flip over my booklet of notes here. And Chaos Disciples had the same kind of run here on their attack. They won 2 rounds against Aura, but when it really came down to their defensive half, they steamrolled them, winning 5 rounds in a row yet again, ending in a 7-4. So two teams with a similar performance record, and given 2 different maps. But what are they going to bring here? Is it going to be a very defensive-sided Oregon since they've won both of their defenses really, really well? Who knows?
I mean, who knows? Potentially 2-4-2 splits to go to that 3-round shootout. What we all love to see. Everyone loves a good overtime, dramatic finish. But I mean, from your notes, I mean, you're the man with all the statistics. Do you know what? I was just about to say you'll know exactly how everything goes, but we'll definitely find out how everything goes as we head straight into the map, and Chaos Disciples are going to start us off with the first ban.
Yeah, Happy Team, looking back at the bans that it was a Thatcher and a Maestro on Villa, and Chaos Disciples a Maverick and a Cade on Clubhouse. Honestly, I'd expect a Thatcher. I mean, yet again, I'm going to say it's kind of a cheap shot at a prediction, but cheap shots, they're cheap for a reason. They usually are correct, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. The first Thatcher ban coming out, but what's really going to be interesting here is going to be that second attacking ban. Is it going to be a secondary heart breach, or is it going to be a roam denial operator? Who is it going to be? 1 second remaining, and boom, it's going to be the Jackal. Roam denying has been denied with the Jackal off the board. Of course, you saw some other operators, as you said, the zero cams, and of course, flank drones work really well, but Jackal is actively hunting roamers. Well, not on this map.
Yeah, the Jackal seeking missile will not be getting used. We saw how good he was on that last round with the kind of like PDW roam clear that we saw. Cade getting banned. Something we see so often with like kind of denying hatches and the kind of off spots that have been slowly coming out. I don't know if you've seen the one that's up on the kind of bushes outside, Yannick, the one you can throw from garage.
What? That sounds insane. I know.
Yeah. So basically, you can throw it from garage into like little bushes, and it ends up denying the kind of wall down on, I think it's elbow actually, which is crazy enough.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh my god.
But anyway, talking about crazy, we're not getting crazy. We're getting Mira. That's our last and final ban. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get into the map just yet, as there's a few issues on the team's side. I've just seen it kind of cascading through old chat. So that's just unfortunate. We're going to just have to get our waffle machines out and start talking about what could potentially be coming out here.
Chaos Disciples starting on their defense on Oregon. Looking at these bans, wouldn't necessarily say it's more attacker sided than usual. You don't see that secondary heart breach ban. You see the Thatcher ban, but hey, that's common enough as it is. So most teams are prepared for that, and I think most teams are prepared for a secondary heart breach ban as well. But when you're looking at the Thatcher and the Jackal ban, you're looking at a defense that's going to be a little bit less roam heavy, a defense that's going to be maybe more clustered on site, or when they go roam. Excuse me, whoa, 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 whoa. With the Jackal ban, there's going to be more roam. Excuse me, a bit more roam now on the side of Chaos Disciples on their first defensive half. The roamers are going to be having all the presence that they want, and this could be telling for them, as Chaos Disciples, from what I've seen of them on Clubhouse, their roam game is really strong, and especially with their refragging ability and their retaking ability. It's a very similar story to what we saw GTFO do last game, where they might give up some map control, but coming back to it, they could also gain it back really easily. So yeah, it's a very interesting bans here.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, though, with the kind of Jackal getting banned, Oregon becomes a lot more open as well, like kin hiding and hiding in off spots. For instance, maybe you, when you're attacking the bottom floor, there's a Jaeger hiding up in games, or maybe up in small tower. It's just positions you don't tend to see. You won't have that kind of feat to kind of track, or I'm not, you know, I'm not even going to delve into the memes of Jackal, but but you kind of get the idea of what I'm saying. That info, that kind of passive info, that'll keep getting laid down for you as you move through your roam clear, etc., etc. It'll just have to be relying on drones. Potentially, they bring out a lion or a Dokkaebi. We've already seen the Dokkaebi being brought out. They are kind of good picks in their own rights, especially with the Gun 6 being brought on the board.
Yeah, the Gun 6 has been really game changing here for Rainbow Six, especially on the
Yeah,
Iana. I still love Iana being played with the Gun 6. Not very much in the other operators. We did see the Dokkaebi early on. I'm not quite sure if she has a Gun 6. I think she does.
yeah,
But
she
yeah,
does, I
no,
think.
Iana. Yeah, so Iana with the Gun 6 is really interesting because you already have those two frag grenades that do really, really well at destroying gadgets. And of course, killing players from the Gun
Yeah.
6 might not be as efficient in, but still, it's another method of clearing utility, going back to the 20-second meta where utility needs to be clear before you can really enter into a site. And I think in this season with Aruni being in play as well, that's yet another piece of utility that needs to be cleared. So yeah, the
Yeah.
Golden Stakes, as you said, definitely is a very strong secondary weapon.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, especially when you've got your kind of Ash and Zofia that tend to go off and do their own things. They just kind of smell some blood and then that's them. They're off on the hunt. So now that the fact you've got this kind of like support operator now with a two frag grenades, one gun six bullet, and kind of infinite drones, if you want to kind of call it that, infinite drones throughout the round. I mean, it just puts Ayana in such a strong position. Her kit, I mean, well, it's been well, almost well balanced. I mean, she's in a great position, and it also puts kind of operators like Lion, Dokkaebi. I think is it Zero's got one. I'm not too sure if he does, but like those operators with the Gun 6, they look so much more viable because you can clear these shields that are so kind of prevalent throughout the game. Like I mean, we saw how strong that 20-second meta was. It was kind of heartbreaking for a while to cast that, but we got through it, and now we're here.
Yeah, no, it's over here, Oregon. I just want to delve into the over the attacking side of the affairs of things. How do you expect Happy Team to attack this? What for you would be really good Oregon take? Do you upstairs more of an attic push? Do you prefer more of a games push? Well, how do you do it, Kara?
I tend to always do. This is going to sound a bit controversial, but potentially, I just usually go 5 man commit to master because at the end of the day, if you've got 5 men in close proximity, it's either going to go horrendously wrong, which it shouldn't do, or it goes horrendously right in the fact that you're always there for the refrags, you're always in close knit kind of um, how would you put it, like kind of in terms of your location, you're always close knit, you're always tight beside each other. Whereas when you've got that kind of split push, you end up putting yourself in a position where, let's be honest, I mean, it could all go wrong very easily. I mean, one player goes, two-player goes, and the other three are on the other side of the map.
Just wanna talk a bit about the defensive side as well for games. I think once that games breach is open, as you've mentioned, it's very tough to really
Yeah.
hold the flow of attackers that are going to come in. You know, that one player in Attic, usually some kind of an SMG 11 player. At least that's why I usually set up in a ranked game. But yeah, no, coming in from Attic and from that kind of side, it's so hard to hold that breach as
Yeah.
it's just really tough. Once that games wall is open, so much pressure on you on the defenders has been unleashed.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, do you know something? This is how I think of like Siege, and this is maybe a unique perspective. I don't know, but you ever played Risk? It's Risk. I think
No,
it's Risk, the one
I
where
haven't
it's like
played it, but I've heard about it.
yeah. So like it kind of like as you slowly move through, you gain control, and that say if you put like a kind of marker down, that's the orange side, or that's the orange room, that's a blue room, right? And then potentially move in and out, blah blah blah, right? So how I look at it as you slowly start to move back and kind of like it's all about a numbers game. So say for instance you've got two players in one room. If one moves in, the one that's gonna is gonna lose most likely, right? So if you start bringing those players back, making sure you've got the significant man count at all times, and then you go for the kind of firefight, the gunfights, and at advantageous positions. Let's make sure it's correct here. I mean, you kind of you're looking really good. It can always look bleak by giving away. How would you put it? Control, but as long as you keep control of the man count, it always looks better. I don't know about you, Yannick. How would you look at it?
You look at the. I don't know. I agree with you with the man count stuff. A bit of a strategy game. I like to play Hearts of Iron 4. It's a different kind of
Yeah.
strategy game. As we're heading back into the match now. Let's see. We've already skipped the band phase. We're in for round one. I'm going to leave that talk about the defensive side for next time. We're going to look into this match now. Oregon, Londrian to apply. Kills Disciple start there. What do you expect to see? I expect to see the smoke on the extend, the Jaeger giving him, of course, with that lovely name, Pogar Hontas. I love that name. It's going to be one of my most favorite names here now within ECS. Going to give him some support in the form of the Jaeger ADSs and Wamai discs, maybe in blue. Could see a very heavy blue hold here with the operators that I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing out a Goyle, actually. That's quite an interesting pick. I wonder if the Smoke is still going to keep his shield. I think Goyle's always going to be in that strong position until he gets kind of nerfed. We've already kind of got an eye on what's coming with the. I think it was like the kind of SI thing that was released. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to go ahead, but finally we got recently an update. But I digress. Point is the fact that. That's three shields on the board for Kell's Disciples. That's so much delay, Yannick. I mean, you don't know how long it can actually go for. It's actually a bit ridiculous at times. Just as simple, player behind a shield, an ADS, it can cause so much havoc for attackers. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know about you in terms of this attacker lineup. The fact that they've got a Wamai as well, it's just looking like a delay game from Kell's Disciples.
This could be proving really hard here for Happy Team to really get a good foothold to the site. We see a lot of street presence here from the operators. So presence on the street spawn. Arvis, though, on the junkyard spawn as well. Acri here, too. Not really a blue push here from the looks of it from Happy Team, and that might be advantageous for them. As I did say, a lot of utility inside blue and facing blue, as you have highlighted as well. Those shields and probably a pillar. It's such a power position for the defenders to hold, and I'd love to see a different kind of push here than just straight up trying to force blue.
Yeah, I totally agree. The thing that's interesting to me, but I mean, I'm not really surprised with, it's so turtle heavy. I mean, look how many players are on the site, and we don't see anybody kind of utilising the fact that there was that jackal off the board. They're just going to sit on the site, they're going to sit cozy, and do you know what? I mean, fair enough, it's a very kind of turtle heavy site. The fact that you can utilise the fact that there's not much in terms of angles into the actual bomb site. It's so great for the defenders. But anyway, it doesn't matter. There's still a lot of work to be done here for them. And do you know what, Yannick? That's the thing, though. There's so much work to be done, and there's only, I think, a hatch being open, apart and a couple of the rune gates being popped.
If you look at the map control from Happy Team right now, it's quite a lot. This bulletproof cam could be huge for later in the round. It gives them the call out of when someone is pushing through that freezer hallway, and Robin from above could spell the end of Happy Team's moments with a lot of map control here. He's on the flank, and Arvis and Acri don't seem aware of this. Sino Whirl as well, together with a Maverick up top. They're pushing the main stairs, and Robin here could be the key turning point for this round. If he pushes at the correct moment and has his timing correct, he could go huge. The Nomad charge gets shot away, and with that also the Zofia. The Zofia goes down, gets finished off, and the Ace gets the refrag. The Aruni wants to get a kill onto Avarice, excuse me, but he says no, forcing her to go back onto site. Pry gets one as well, gets a double kill in fact, but Bobby Boy with having none of that, getting the refrag back. But Chaos Disciples in a man disadvantage after unable to get one refrag back, puts them in quite the tough spot. Map control has been established by Happy Team, and the breaching work is finally getting out and coming out here from the Ace. Bobby Boy shuts down Adam, and with that, the Maverick and one of his nades has been dispatched as well. Sino World goes down, and suddenly is all to Avarice in a 1v2 with time ticking down, 10 seconds remaining. It's gonna be a bloodbath here. Does he want to make something work? Can he find the first? No, he doesn't. TMSK, he gets both of them after downing Sino World.
Yeah, exactly. That was such a good play from both teams, just holding out. It was just unfortunate that kind of Happy Team, although they'd put in the work, got the frags, just weren't able to kind of capitalise on the mistakes of the defenders, and they just came back with a flurry of kills. I mean, Robin, how do you miss Dronum? I thought there was 5 on site because so much control was gained, but the fact that no one bothered kind of checking that top floor is worrying signs. But it's only the first round. We're going to switch off the Goyo, we're going to go for a Valkyrie, and we're going to head straight to Kids' dorms.
Yeah, that defense was a little bit shaky there. The flank from the Wamai definitely did shake up the Happy Team's attack, but the refrag came in instantly, and he didn't get the upper that really mattered. If he got the kill onto the Ace, it would have been a totally different story. Then you'd have lost heart-breaching capabilities, at least most of it, as the Maverick already used his heart-breaching blowtorch on those hatches. And that would have put the Zofia then, if you would switch out those deaths, in quite the tough spot. But no, the kill coming onto the Zofia meant that Happy Team still had the Heartbreacher in pocket and in hand to do a lot of damage to those reinforced walls, and you saw that coming out to work for them at the end and kind of help them in their favor. But Chaos Disciples, they knew what they're doing. They got the win anyway. They don't need the kill onto the Ace per se. So a very good first round here from Chaos Disciples. Even though looking a little bit shaky, I'd hope to see that the second round could go more into their favor.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh. Oh, just a miss through Valcam there. I don't know if you've seen that. Just hitting the top of the door flame. Flame? Well, apparently there's a door flame. But yeah, just unfortunate to not hit that kind of Valcam, because that would have been quite a nice spot. I've not seen that before. It looks as if we're going to go for a standard kind of master take here, Yannick. It's like something that we see so often, but you know what? We don't see it executed the same way every single time. Bobby Boy, he's going to get a bit aggressive here on towards the kind of trophy door. He's heading and aiming towards that master balcony where we see Avarice just kind of looking on his belly, just shuffling back and forth. He's not going to net anything. That's just unfortunate. 2 minutes and 15 seconds, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and it looks as if, again, Happy Team have done a bit of work. They've got the control they need to. TMSK, he's unlucky. He's going to lose a bit of health. So is Bobby Boy. He's lost about maybe over 30, just under that. So, I mean, and they've already got the breach open, but actually, he's going to be able to get that frag.
So much aggression from Chaos Disciples. They've already lost them the HP amount of 2 men. TMSK and Bobby Boy almost down to half. It's just ill-advised to keep peeking that, and Bobby Boy's just doing it again. And even though they might still be feeling confident in their plays after winning one round, you're not there. You're not even close to having this game in the pocket. You've only won one round, and with that, not really in a very convincing way. Perver Hontas, though, finally answers back onto Sino, getting a good refrag onto the Iana. But still, the HP discrepancy here for both teams could prove fatal for Chaos Disciples.
Yeah, definitely. The loss of HP is not looking good. What's also not looking good, the fact that the Zophia's just stunned herself. Unfortunately, it also got the mute, so he's going to just be playing a bit more passive. There's a bit... Oh no, please don't tell me he doesn't... Please tell me he doesn't need himself. No, we get rid of the militia and we begin our ingress towards that pit of Attic. There's a couple of flashes coming out, but Pogger is on the kind of flank below and meeting, using that hatch to catch off the... I think it was who was it? Was it Maverick? So there we go. That's pretty good. And Smoke as well. He's gonna swing, and there goes your Nomad, and it's looking like Chaos Disciples bringing it back again.
Chaos Disciples, even though losing that man early on, they're still determined to win this round. Now 20 seconds, Akri and Avarice need to start making some movement, but Parker Hontat's going to be the one making the move onto Avarice. And with that, is only down to Zofia, stunned by the Malusi, and now stunned by a bullet in her head. Gonna cause her to fall down to her demise, sliding down the stairs. Chaos Disciples win round number 2. And with that, I just want to highlight something that has come back into my memories. I remember Chaos Disciples, and I remember how they played Clubhouse now. It's that aggression that is... Every time I see Chaos Disciples now, and this is the second time I've seen them play, I always think, you guys are overextending. You guys are getting early picks. You guys keep dying. But no. They always have an answer. And yet again here, what was that over-aggression by that mute in trophy and that Valkyrie peeking the breach? Who would, in what realm of a world would you think that you could ever have more than 50%, more than 30% chance of winning that gunfight? Like, really, like realistically, you're not winning that.
No, I totally agree. I mean, if in doubt, throw bodies at the situation. That seems to be Chaos Disciples' philosophy. That, I mean, seems to be one of their 10 commandments, Yannick. So, but, I mean, what can we say here, though? If you're confident enough in your ability to actually do what you need to do, I mean, you may as well just kind of go ahead if that's your game plan. And so far, how can we doubt them? They've won all the way up till now. I mean, it's only been 2 rounds, but I mean, 100% win rate. That's what we could say. But we're heading now to like the tertiary site, the one that you kind of put in favour of the attackers, the one that statistically you think, right, this is it. This is where the attackers will pull it back, kind of get around on the board and make it 2-1, and just kind of keep on the toes of Kel's Disciples.
Yeah, indeed. This is the round where you see those two round points on the board for the attacker, where you expect them to win, exactly as you've said. I'm actually just repeating you, but Adam could get caught off guard here by the game speak if Parker Hontas just holds the angle for a bit longer, and that's exactly what he does. But no, Adam is down to 1 HP. That could have been massive. One of your heart breaches could have just been lost there. By yet again the aggression of Chaos Disciples, and Parker Hontas needs to be wary of the collapse that might be coming onto him by Happy Team.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate there from the Spawn Peaker. Not being able to net that kill, but he'll tell you what he does, and he nets all that health off of Adam. Jaeger's just taking his gunfight with his sledge. Cineworld not being able to do any damage towards him, and he's just going to keep himself up above. He's wasting so much time. That's a minute off the board so far, and he's starting to reinforce off towards where the big window is. Adam, no, he's going to take the Malusi out. That's potentially a C4 off the board. So, you know what? While it was looking bleak, it's now looking better because it's a minute 40 on the board. The Jaeger's still on that stairs, but he's in a good position. Potentially the fact that he left there and they don't know that could be what wastes the time.
Parker Hontas in quite aggressive stance, but he's holding on to upstairs as he needs to. Sees the drone from Prior's sides just get killed by Avarice, the ace. And Parker Hontas now quite in it's a tough situation. You got droned down, need to flick up to the head, and it's such a difficult thing to do. And even Parker Hontas can't step up to the task of that. And suddenly it's all flipped around as Akri now. Akri gets 1, and Bobby Boy needs to win 5 kills on his name now. Does he want to flip this round back for Chaos Disciples in quite the miraculous way? Bobby Boy, he gets pride, gets it down. Now next up is the Mav, who's on 1 HP. Is doable here, even for the SMG-11 at range. And that's exactly not what happens as Adam gets the headshot onto Bobby Boy. Even though you're on 1 HP, that headshot kill is still 100 damage, and well, it's a good showing of that, showing that even if you're down to such low HP, you can still win your gunfights.
Yeah, of course, just got to hit those heads. It is a point-and-click adventure, Yannick. That is all Siege is. You just got to tap those heads and win those rounds. But you know what? Happy Team with the first kind of win on the round, first round on the board, 2-1 in favour of Chaos Disciples. Those we head back to Laundry and Supply, and I would say, you know what, Happy Team didn't do a bad job last time. They just couldn't finish it out. They couldn't get that execute. Well, maybe we've heard this story before in the last map, so let's hope that, you know what, that Chaos Disciples actually maybe win. I don't know. I mean, I like to see the attackers kind of go against the odds. I do like an underdog.
Yeah, the underdog story is always fun to narrate, right? But if you look at this, you see in Achilles Disciples that has won 2 rounds and looking very, very strong. They've lost their tertiary bomb site. It's kind of where you want to be on your defensive half. Losing your tertiary bomb site is not necessarily a thing that you could. Okay, I need to just regroup my thoughts there. Losing your tertiary bomb site is not necessarily something frowned upon. It's almost expected from the defensive team, so they're not going to be feeling too bad now. They're going to go back, alright guys, we can go back to our first bomb site, Laundry, and let's win that one as well. On the side of Happy Team, as you said, it was a very close round, but we do see some changes coming in from that side. They've noted that the hatches are not electrified. They have no way of doing that, even with the Cade being banned, of course, and no real mute jammers that can get into range. So instead of the Maverick, who was primarily focused on the hatch, it's got Hibana. It'll be faster, more efficient, so many more advantages to that. So some adaptation from Happy Team, and I hope that might be able to be enough. I hope that is going to be enough for them to win this one.
Yeah, I hope so too. It looks as if they're with the kind of more standard take. They'll potentially be hoping that like they don't kind of stall out like we saw last time. They were getting those frags, but they weren't able to actually get into the site. We do have one roamer though. He's the only man who's going to be able to kind of challenge the attackers on the top floor and waste their time up there, I believe. It is actually not Robin like we saw last time. I can't remember where he came from, whether it would be up top floor, but what a shot that is from the Zofia Acre. And that's, do you know what? That's Pocahontas off the board, the man who has had a war cry through all these rounds, just unfortunately not been able to continue that war cry for this one.
Axe Creed got one for the clips and highlights for sure. There with the wall bang onto Pocahontas. A very good kill there, even though some might say it was luck, or maybe it was just really good timing. Who knows? The defenders, though, are starting to feel the pressure from the attackers after losing their first member of the team. Sides kind of wants to get the refrag here. Of course, Chaos Design was a pilot before. They're a very aggressive team. They like to bring the fight to the attackers. And that's exactly what we see there with Sides taking the aggressive angle. This first smoke canister getting thrown out by TMSK. Bobby Boy getting the answer back onto the kill. Pocahontas revenge, as you'd like to say. Pry, the Nomad now down, and TMSK with a beautiful shot on Axe3, keeping that SMG-11 under control, which is such a difficult thing to do nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Having to use those kind of burst fire to kind of see if they can hit heads. Just got to do that with the recoil that is on the SMG-11. Adam, he's holding on to where this elbow is, and there's two players sitting there. Robin maybe hoping they can catch one player off, but there is TMSK being able to catch that player off. Avris down to low health, and Sino World as well. He's holding on blue, and where the smoke is still kind of keep him where he is, and there goes the diffuser down, and Sino World left with it all to do. Yannick, it's 25 seconds. There's only one frag grenade in hand and one drone. There goes the smoke, but at least they're doing something. 15 seconds, had to pick up 3 kills. I don't think it's in a good position here, but there we go. Robin picking up that that last frag and finishing off the round.
Even though you'd say, oh guys, it's just 15 seconds to sit on side. No, Chaos Disciples want nothing of that. They want to kill. They want to see that Yana dead and 6 feet on the ground. And, well, they got what they wanted, getting the third round on the board in a very convincing way, thwarting the attack. Mostly a blue push coming out. And some more kills. So 1 or 2 kills happening off screen, but that smoke going huge with the first kill onto the, I think it was Iana. Or the Zofia of Act 3, excuse me, inside elbow, going huge there, getting another one on his name after the one of the players of Happy Team swung very aggressively into elbow, and with that, really the main driving force, the main spearhead of the attack was thwarted, and yeah, there was nothing much left other than that. Just wrap it up, get the final kills.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, you've already said it before, I'm going to take your line away from you, Yannick. At the end of the day, it's an FPS game, and kills matter. That's what it's always going to be. I don't know if KD matters, but kills do it anyway, and it's 3-1 in favour of Kills Disciples. I mean, at the end of the day, would you say it's kind of strategy? Would you say it's executes? How would you say that Happy Team are actually failing here, Yannick? Because they seem to be doing good work, and then it just falls apart for some reason.
It's just aggression from Chaos Disciples that some would say is ill-advised, and I think it would be ill-advised once you get up into a higher tier, maybe even a major division. This aggression would be thwarted by the other side, especially at the defensive side. But it's working magic for them. They're basically keeping Happy Team at their toes, not feeling also happy actually. Kind of the worried team now, worried maybe somebody could come in behind them. The flanks are huge on the side of Chaos Disciples. The gunfire, the gunplay is good. There's really not much for Happy Team to work with. You want to look at their kill count. Nothing is really earth-shatteringly good. But Chaos Disciples, if you look at most of them, they have a good amount of kills on the board for 5 rounds played. Scythe, though, a little bit lacking. I just need to wake up a little bit. I need to get some fire burning into him, and Goyo might be the perfect opportunity to get that fire going.
Yeah, exactly. An operator closely linked with fire, that vector as well, with the kind of high fire rate, being able to take off anybody that ends up getting into the fire rate's line of sight. There goes the Goyle shield though. We see the fire on the floor. That seems to be the topic of conversation just now. And do you know what? I'd say this. I don't want to jinx it, but Happy Team, they're doing a bit of work here. We see there's still 2 roamers. The Mavericks holding down the flank, the Maverick of Adam, and I don't know if the defenders know he's there, but I don't know if the Maverick actually knows. There's a couple of pre-fires, so there must be some information. Robin, though, he's going to lose some health up above.
And here's the Jaeger. He's going to fall back downstairs. It's an interesting hold there. You saw the Melusi and the Jaeger kind of having a cross angle kind of thing up, really precisely cross angle. But if one got fragged, the other one was ready for the refrag, and it's such a good situation to be in for Chaos Disciples. That was the very key of getting gunfights. Bobby Boy gets one, and talking about refrags is absent here from Happy Team. No one to refrag that kill by the SMG-11 from range into the breach. Sides finally gets on the board, getting on to Prying. Your Nomad is now down as well. 4-2 looking very much on the line here as Sino gets found as well. Pocahontas holding the angle. Size goes big, gets 2 more. Avarice and Adam and a flawless rounds from Chaos Disciples.
Well, you asked for him to put some fire in his belly, and that's exactly what he did. That's a triple on the board for Scythe, and a flawless round on the board for Chaos Disciples. I mean, Yannick, you said to me in the production call, Chaos Disciples are such a good defensive team. And that's the thing, they're proving to us that they are. That's 4-1 on the defence. While they might have not won their tertiary site, it looks like they could potentially do it. And you know what? I've got to ask the questions. Can you, Chaos Disciples, win this round out? We'll need to find the answer in the coming seconds.
I think if Chaos Disciples win the next round, it's almost done and dusted for Happy Team. 5-1 is a really disadvantage. It's not a good split to be ending your half in. Let's put it that way. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word. But yeah, it's not going to be a good situation to find yourself in moving into the defensive half. Well, yes, if you go look into Oregon and look at all of the times it has been played, even before the rework, you'll see that it is mostly defender-sided. Chaos Disciples proving that with having 4 rounds on the board, already denying the even 3-3 split by now. So, Happy Team, they need to find this next one. They're back on the tertiary bomb site. Chaos Disciples is at least. They're back on the tertiary bomb site. So, Happy Team, now is the time to get that 4-2 split. Even though it might not be something that they were really looking forward to, it could be something that they can be at least content with.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I thought I was going to miss that drone there. But it looks as if Chaos Disciples are always in control. I mean, that's how I kind of look at it with how they've played. I mean, Yannick, we'll definitely find out what the script is here. You did say to me before that Chaos Disciples managed to get 5 on the board on defense, but so did Happy Team. So, oh no, it looks like Scythe is going to make it 1 more, and he's trying to get 5 kills on the board as he makes it 4 at least. That's another man gone, as well as Pocahontas takes out Adam, and it's just constantly hemorrhaging players at this point.
Happy Team, as you said, they're bleeding players left and right. Look at the time; not even a minute has been passed on this round, and
No.
no way, no, that
I
can't be
thought.
true. No, no
Did they miss
pride.
Roman?
Please, no.
Oh.
Okay, the pre-fire coming out. The location has been known, but that would have been big. That would have been absolutely big if he would have gone that. You know, looking at Avarice getting one, but get traded back immediately. Look at the refrag there from Pocahontas. Chaos Disciples showing that they have those little trifectas going, those little refrag angles going. So Chaos Disciples really, really strong right now, and they're showing their gun skill prowess by getting a team kill into Robin, saying we don't need the Valkyrie. You've placed down your Valkyrie cam, so hey, you're useless for the team. Just have a sit here next to the server room. Oh,
Yeah,
it's for the
exactly.
skins. It's for the
Yeah,
skins.
that's just unfortunate. A bit of a passion skin there, Yannick. Unfortunately, you just can't contain it. Sometimes it's got to leak out onto the skins. But anyway, Sino World. Oh, I was just about to say Sino World's about to make his kind of movements in towards trophy, but you know what? It's also going to be stopped. Is that's the Mozzie getting another frag? That's just again unfortunate. Sino World. He's going to continue just to walk about, do what he needs to do, see if he can get anything from below. But Pocahontas, he finishes off the round, and it's 5-1. We said they could potentially do it, and potentially done it. They have. So you said it could it could be the end of Happy Team if they're not able to win this. And the question is it? Can you bring it back, Happy Team? Can you bring us to overtime or even win 6 rounds on the bounce? I don't know, Yannick. Do you think you could potentially do it?
It's so tough. You might go into this and thinking, well, Chaos Disciples just won 5 in a row. Why couldn't Happy Team do that? It's a little bit about that mental game, right? You've just lost, well, not 5 rounds in a row, but you've lost 5 rounds within the last 6. It's just not looking good for you. You're mentally down in the drain. You think, well, we keep trying to go for the gunfires, but it's not working. And especially talking about Chaos Disciples, they keep peeking these weird angles, and there must be some tilt coming for Happy Team as well. You can already imagine when you're playing ranked and some lunatic just peeks the window. You're going, like, what are you doing? Who holds that angle? Right? Like, that's relatable, right? And I think that's a little bit what must be going on in Happy Team right now. Chaos Disciples, they're peeking the right angles at the right time, getting those early picks on their defensive half. But now it's time to switch it around. They need to be able to get that aggression, put it into a different shell, putting it into an attacking shell, and see if they can mold it into something a little bit more favorable for the attacking side. And from what I've seen before on Clubhouse, they weren't really successful at doing so. They didn't win a lot of rounds on the attacking side, but that's a totally different map. It's time it's Oregon. Let's see what they have in store for us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can kind of draw similarities in the sense that they two are the ones that are always picked and they're kind of breach heavy in a sense. But at the end of the day, though, there's plenty of drones, as we see here. Scythes, he's on his kind of phone, trying to see if we can find out where there's any roamers. From what I can see from the outlines, I don't see much. Yep, there's 5 down on the site. So that means Chaos Disciples, they can do what they want, they can get the air jabs down and start to do the work that they need potentially. Maybe someone might come up those tower stairs though, and they're just going to have to hold the angle and hope that that doesn't happen. Yannick, question is here, is if Chaos Disciples get this first round on the board, how do you think that the mental for Happy Team will be like? Do you think maybe potentially they'll kind of rally and think, do you know what, we may as well just try and get something, start a bit of kind of peeking, playing Chaos Disciples at their own game, play fire with fire and peek everything and just kind of play that kind of ranked style as you've already pointed to?
Talking about peeking everything, I just want to kind of defer your question. You're just going to go a little bit around it here. You see all 5 players on the site. They're giving Chaos Disciples a little respect. Happy Team are not taking the risks that they need to be taking to really start winning in these rounds. The risk that Chaos Disciples did take by going for those aggressive spawn peaks, going for those aggressive flanks, going for that aggressive roam game. And Chaos Disciples, Happy Team have none of that. They're basically going, oh guys, we need to play something, we need to win these next rounds, let's play more passive play, let them come to us. But I was also going to come to Chaos Disciples to C4 and Sino World getting another one with the Vector. I might have spoken too soon here. Happy Team might get one on the board. Maybe this all-turtle defense could work out for them.
Yeah, exactly. That flick from Sino World was absolutely beautiful. Bobby Boy, he's getting a bit aggressive down towards here, trying to see if he can pick up anybody, but I don't know if he knows that Sino's there. Robin gets the first frag, and there goes the Goyle. That's of Sino World. It got those two first initial frags on the round. It was so kind of useful. There goes Bobby Boy, though, caught out by two players peeking him at the exact same time. Looks as if they're playing the right manner, playing for the refrags, playing in the right position. But Pry, that was a lovely shot, unfortunate. Didn't hit ahead. And now 2 versus 4, 35 seconds. What utility do you have? You've got 3 ace charges. You've got 1 less body to find, though, as Scythes. He's got that fire still. But do you know what? He's got smoke in the lungs as well, and there it goes. That's 1 player, and it's a 1 versus 3, Yannick.
It's very tough here for Robin in a 1v3, as you just said. Defeat getting tagged.
Oh.
5 bullets in defeat ends the man. The amount of pain that must do to you will end you. So, very good first round here from Happy Team. Is this a sign of more to come? We don't know. They still have a long way to go. Need to win at least 3 more to even level it out. Kale's Disciples, they must be looking for the next one here. Need to look for the next round to at least guarantee them 1 point, guarantee them overtime. If they manage to throw this 4-round lead, I'll be astounded. But Kale's Disciples here, I just want to touch up on what Happy Team was doing there. They're giving them so much respect. The only person Sino World playing aggressively in Freezer World would save the day. And I think that C4 and kill started off a good snowball effect for Happy Team. We have seen Kale's Disciples, even though they're a man down, even though they're 2 men down, we've seen them come back from that situation. We've seen them being like, well, that doesn't matter. We still have 4, maybe 3 more players that are just as talented as the one that have just fell down to the grave. So getting that early man advantage might not be that telling in this round if Happy Team gets it. But if Kale's Disciples manage to get the first kill off in the game, I think that could be a really, really big thing. Happy Team, they need to start playing a bit more aggressive, give Kale's Disciples something to think about when they get their attacking side. I'm not trying to get map control as the attacking side, otherwise it's going to be just as easy as the first time around.
Yeah.
Enough waffling, we'll look at the game now.
No, I mean, I think you raise a really good point about the respect. Once you had said that, I was like, oh, you know what? He does make a good point, because that's what they did. They sat in that kind of turtle hold. They waited for the gunfights to come to them, and then a bit of individual class came out with the Goyle being able to flick up onto heads, etc., etc. Sometimes you need that luck in your game. I mean, you can come down with the strategy, the team fights, like all the things perfectly, but sometimes luck just wins it out, and that was the case here. Anyway, we now move on to this kind of ingress towards the top floor. The Habana solo. I thought it was solo pushing, but it's not. She's got the support of Bobby Boy and Sides Pry, though. He's prying into where these attackers are. He's waiting to see if he can catch anyone off guard, but it doesn't look likely as he just kind of crawls and creeps up about. There's a drone that goes by, though. He's been droned out and he's going to run away through, potentially coming up Freezer stairs and going back, but maybe, just maybe, he might go for that flank, Yannick, as the main breach on Games Wall gets opened. Oh!
What a shot from Axcree to get the first call off. Robin, he answers back with a headshot of his own. With that AK, does a lot of damage, and Axcree had to feel that one. This 2-prong approach, maybe even 3 here if you want to count the push from main stairs, could be with the winning formula for Kale's Disciples. Robin's find 1 as well. With that, Happy Team are looking a little bit worse for wear here. There's only 3 men remaining. Pocahontas down below wants to go up white, making this a real 3-pronged approach. Avarice is prone on the top of it, but Pocahontas seems to be unknowing of that. If the right peak at the right time comes around from Avarice, this could be huge. Pocahontas, they're staring at each other, but they don't know it! No! And with that, Pocahontas gets felt by the MP5 of Avarice. Robin finds one, going on a triple kill. Robin is going huge this round. You could attribute the whole round to him right now if he does win this. Bobby Boy finds one of his own. The refrag needs to come out, but no, but yes! Robin gets the kill, and with that, Kale's Disciples put themselves on match point. I'm
Oh,
trying to find
goodness,
the
Yannick.
word. They've guaranteed themselves 1 point. There it is. Guaranteed themselves 1 point.
Well, do you know what? They've got 1 point on the board and 1 foot on 3 points. As that's them, they're 6-2 in the lead, Yannick. And they did such a good take there. I was kind of like, when I saw the Malusi lying down on top of White Stairs, I was like, in my head, please don't tell me this is going to be another Canadian moment. Please don't tell me. And then it kind of slowly started to be the kill feed lit up. Like, I mean, Scythe's belly is lit up because he's starting to get so many frags throughout these rounds, as you've said. And you know what? We're finally going to see that Ayana pick coming out. We kind of pointed to it before in pre-game with the Gone 6 and the frag grenades, etc., etc. But we finally get to see it in this game.
Yeah, it's just a really big player here now with that clone replica of herself, which if you're watching, we cannot really differentiate from the real Iana when we're spectating our players, so please change that at some point. But hey, something for a different topic. But as the operator of the Iana is so big, that clone it can disrupt so much utility. It does droning. It even can scare any defenders that are lurking as you hear those footsteps. You can't differentiate those footsteps from a real Iana. Not
Yeah.
at all. So, if you hear footsteps coming about from like one direction, just storming in, you're forced to look that way. You don't want to take the risk of, oh, that's going to be a clone anyway. As a defender, you can't take that risk. So,
Yeah.
Iana is a very, very strong operator for the attack, and this might prove that Chaos Disciples can win the last round here that they need to win this whole game.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is,
Rush?
though, is
Rush?
uh, surely not. Are they going to go for it?
No, 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 no.
Nah, nah. I think they're just kind of rushing in and getting that first initial that kind of entry control they need to. There's a little drone spotted out by Adam. Just doesn't shoot it for some reason. I don't know why you would shoot a drone, but I mean, uh, what I was going to say there. Oh no, have they spotted him? The thing
They
that spotted
did.
the vertical hose is there goes two drones. They'll see the kind of tracers there, and there comes some. Oh no, Adam just misses outside his head. That's just unfortunate, Yannick. I mean, that could have been such a good pick. That's your Zofia impact stuns. I mean, there's one drone and like breach charges as well. So much utility going on one player. Now there's so much vertical
Oh
pressure
god.
low as we see that he's just sitting on a minefield of utility getting flung up at him. I don't. If I was you, I mean, I wouldn't want to be Adam.
I would have. I would be so scared in this position right now. As you said, a minefield. The whole floor is just opening up underneath him. Parker Hontas is really keen on getting this kill onto the smoke. I mean, not to be wrong, getting the kill into the smoke is absolutely insane. That gives you so much more time, so much more freedom to work with later on in the round. And that means they don't need to worry about those pesky smoke counters and just deny area extremely well. Do see a lot of map control here established by Chaos Disciples. So they're very good on that, but HP is not looking too good for them, but neither is it really on Happy Team. Two players with the cumulative HP pool of about 1. Maybe we can share a little bit. They're both sitting in kids, so they might be able to work this out. Sides get the first kill on the Sino, and with that, the snowball has been rolled. Chaos Disciples, could this be the end of this match?
Well, let's hope not. Maybe a few rounds would just to keep us entertained. Malusi peppering shots onto the Habana of TMSK. Pry though, he's gonna get two. Oh, sorry, one. Adam getting the second there onto Robin, and you know what? Kills Disciples in a good position. Sarith's gonna get the double kill now, and it's 3 versus 3. Health low on all sides. Remember what you said before, Yannick? It only takes 10 health to win a gunfight. We saw the Maverick of, I can't remember if it was Acre, but anyway, they won the gunfight on low HP. There goes the Ash with the diffuser down cold. Side's getting another refrag. That's a triple. And your question earlier of can you get more kills? I mean, it's potentially coming true here as Scythe makes the entry. There goes Avarice. He's only in a 1 versus 1 now, and it's the mute of Acre left. I wonder what's going to happen here. Does he know the Melissa's down and the defenders win it out on time? Is that their 6th man? And I completely forgot the fact that clock was still ticking down. That's just unfortunate there.
Yeah, he didn't know where the last player was, and I think he didn't know he got the down of the Malusi by the way he peeked that. Unfortunate here for Chaos Disciples. had the early man advantage, or not quite sure if they did. They had the early map control. I know that for certain. They did everything really well. They droned them out. They lit up that smoke that was playing in kids.
Oh yeah.
And with that happy team, though, they clawed all the way back with the refrag after refrag after refrag. I've talked about it in earlier rounds how important those refrags are, and happy team finally showing that they can do it. First, it was Kel's disciples that were really strong on their refrags. They need to start doing that again now. Do they want to win this round? It's only 6-3. Happy team, they are getting in closer, inching their way towards overtime and securing themselves 1.2. But there is still a long way to go for that as well. We're going back to Laundry, a site that they have won earlier today. But is Chaos Disciples going to be able to adapt onto what they've seen from Happy Team?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Kel's disciples were just unfortunate not to win us out last time, if my memory serves me right, Yannick. So I mean, I don't know. This is kind of, do you know the good thing is it's keeping us on the edge of our seats because we're like, well, Kel's disciples are in a position to win this, but I mean, will they? Because at the end of the day, we just don't know. I mean, it's been back and forth all game. I mean, I think Kel's disciples, all in all, were very dominant on their attacking half, but not so dominant on their defensive half so far. Winning out 2 out of 1, which I mean, now that I think of it, is actually dominant in a sense because they've won the majority of the rounds. Well, turns out I should just stop talking because that is just a terrible bit of commentary.
It's okay. It's okay. We all have those little bits that we're not too proud of, but either way, we have those days. Right? We have those little bits. We can move on from that. Let's see here now. After about 30 to 40 seconds that have been gone from this round, has elapsed. It's gone in the history books. Chaos Disciples have finally opened up the E-box hatch, and they're going to be opening up a line of sight on the inside there. Should easily shot away from the site, but no, X-Free is going to shoot sides into the head. The killing machine that he was for the past couple of rounds has now been shut down, together with the M76 that Zofia wields.
Yeah, the Zophia's gun is so powerful. Shutting that down, Scythes, I mean, he nearly popped off and got an ace last round, Yannick, so what a good player it is to get off the board, as well as all the utility. 2 drones, we see it in the pocket of the kind of Zofia, so that the way I look at it, that's a great pick. That's 2 drones off the board. That's 2 less info utility off the board. Mostly she's getting lost in a white flash as if God's appeared before her. The white light trying to kind of make sure she sees the white light. In a way, it looks as if kind of Kel's disciples are almost stalling out here. We see them trying to gain some sort of kind of pick or get some sort of control, and it looks as if they've finally done it, as that's them moving on to Pillar the Ash, entering into E-Box, and it's a minute left. So much to do in terms of getting the diffuser into a plantable position.
I'd agree with you. The team that Chaos Disciples have stolen a little bit, but not necessarily have all of their players. So Pugger Hunter is going to take the aggressive flank, but gets shut down by the shotgun of the Mute. And now it's down to 3 remaining members of Chaos Disciples to pick up the pieces of their team and win this round for them. Do they want to secure the victory? I've seen them do it before. We've seen them come back from man disadvantages. Adam is holding here, wasting so much time, wasting that ace potential. TMSK going for the plant. Bobby Boy needs to hold an unbelievable amount of angles. He does successfully hold 1, successfully holds 2 with a shot. My God, and Adam gets shut down on the elbow. Avarice gets Bobby Boy, but it's not enough. They trade and GG's in chat. I got caught off guard by that. I honestly thought it was going to be a happy team win. But no!
Oh, I mean, I totally agree there, Yannick. Everything you just said is spot on with the fact that, I mean, they look so good. The time was ticking down. The 6th man that's been helping them out past couple rounds was looking like he was going to step in again. And you know what? The frags finally came out, and sometimes that's just all you need.
As it has gotten dark in my room here now, I'm going to be a little bit more grainy than you used to see from me, but I'll get that fixed next in the break. Don't worry about it. You did see a very good game there from Kel's Disciples, showing that they are very dominant in what they do. Happy Team just didn't have an answer to those amazing gunfights that Kyo's disciples are bringing onto them. The gunplay is overwhelmingly in the favor of Kyo's disciples, and I think that is one way to summarize that match. The Kyo's disciples' guns just reign supreme over Happy Team's guns.
No, you're totally right. See the fact that there was just constant refragging. I think that's what kind of won it out for them in the end. The fact that they're always close to each other, refragging, fragging out. I mean, we saw that beautiful. I think was it a double or a triple from the Ayana player in the end. So I
Oh,
mean,
oh man, that was a beautiful shot. No
yeah,
question diffuser.
exactly. So like, I mean that kind of sums up that last round. Sums it out. They've always got an ace up their sleeves of Kel's disciples, and that's the way it is sometimes.
Yeah, it just seems to be that Happy Team didn't really have the answer to that. Maybe they will. This can go back into VOD review if that's something they do. They can learn from their mistakes here, bring a better organ next time. But before we're gonna end today, we need to go through one more game. It's gonna be Exa Equo versus Carnivora. We're gonna be back after a short little break, and I'm gonna turn my lights on. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the last game of the day. I've got two amazing days here, two amazing games here, excuse me, that we had before this one. But the third one is here, definitely not to disappoint. ECS Open Division, match day 3, game number 3. What do you expect, Kyra? Exa Eco versus Carnivore.
Well, it would help
Jeez.
Yannick if I could talk properly instead of keeping myself muted and going ahead with my analysis. I was just saying, I was thinking that X equal and Carnivora could be a very good match, especially with the map that we're heading to. We're heading to Clubhouse, a map that we see very often in T4. In fact, across all tiers actually, because it's such a common map. So it'll be exciting to see what happens in this matchup.
Any Club is a very standard map in everybody's map pool. We all know that CCTV hole. We all know the armory hole downstairs, church and armory. It's an old map. It's an OG map. It got reworked years and years ago. Even that was not that big of a change as some of us would have liked to see. But still, it's such a fundamental map in Siege. You think Siege, you think about Clubhouse. You think about Oregon as well. The map we had before this. So I'd hope that both teams have a good game to bring for us today, and an exciting one at that.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, while the map not might not like kind of light up your taste buds, sometimes like it can light up the scoreboard, especially when it comes to those kind of well, it's always been known as one of those maps that are like kind of 20-second heavy with the executes in terms of what you've got to do, like whether it be top down clears, then opening hatches up for bottom floor, or whether it be kind of clearing out towards construction and master, clearing out garage, and then going for that execute. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's got to be a good match. It's Rainbow Six Siege. That's what we all come here to see, and I'm excited anyway.
And I'm very excited here for the next game coming upon us. You said Clubhouse. Let's go a bit about the bands. What bands do you expect to see Cairo on Clubhouse? A map that you've probably seen many, many times before.
Right, I will put a bet on with you, Yannick. I'm going to
Okay.
go with a Cade, Thatcher, Cade, Habana. Oh no, maybe not. Habana or Maverick, and then last one being Amira. Right, that's my four. I'm going to lock them in, and then we'll see where it ends up.
I'm gonna agree with you mostly here. I agree with you with the Thatcher ban. Like I've said before, it's a cheap guess, but I
Yeah,
mean it's a guess. It works. It works. I'll give it to you, Thatcher ban. The second ban you were thinking of a ban over Maverick. I'd
yeah,
personally way more towards a Maverick ban. He is more
yeah.
versatile than the Hibana, especially on Clubhouse. That CCTV wall, that jacuzzi breach, both of them. Not to mention the hatches when you do open them. Um, on the downstairs defense, as the attackers, you should open those hatches to really get a good foothold into sight. So
Yeah,
I'd see a Maverick pan more likely than a Hibana ban, but I mean, only time will tell. I mean, for we know, you might be right. The Cade ban, I totally agree with that. The Cade ban,
yeah.
it's so standard nowadays. If Thatcher is banned, you need to ban the Cade, otherwise it's almost game over for the attacker. It's going to be so hard to open up those hatches if you don't have a Thatcher when there's a Cade in play. That at this point, it's a no-brainer to ban the Cade. And the Mirror ban, I'd say I agree with that 80%. Mirror is very strong, mostly on the gym bedroom side of things. She can be played in the bathroom. You can put one more mirror window onto the breach itself in Jacuzzi. Very, very versatile operator in that sense. I've seen a lot of interesting plays. They put him in logistics. That was during the quals. I was casting that with eBack. That was an absolute amazing game. What was a really weird strategy. I don't know from who it was. It might have been playing Ducks, but they were holding Logi and construction with the mirror window. So yeah, mirror window mirror as an operator very strong on this map as well. We could also see Malusi ban though. We did see that happen before from these teams. Both of them actually to be exact. So wouldn't put it outside of the realm of possibilities. And Malusi ban, of course, that info gathering opportunities, those slowing down mechanics. It's such a versatile operator.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is though, as well with kind of clubhouse, you always end up with rigid lineups. I feel Malusi a great mainstay with the fact it gives away the operators' positions and also kind of slows them down, as you've already pointed towards. And the fact that like towards the kind of other operators, I feel as if there's not much not much room for kind of ingenuity and intuitive plays. I mean, there is room for individual plays, without a doubt. It's Rainbow Six. I mean, you one lucky headshot and you start steamrolling throughout the game, and that's just how the cookie crumbles when it comes to like any sort of map. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we'll find out how it goes. If there is any intuitive plays, and I'm just talking nonsense. The thing that I want to ask you is, Yannick, do you think we could potentially see an SSG roam? I mean, it's became not. I wouldn't say it's obsolete, but I would definitely say it's not become as strong as what it used to be, particularly in that mute Mozzie meta.
Yeah, and the SSG Rome, it was a really good thing when it came out. I think it's already 4 or 5 seasons now. It's been
Yeah.
here for a while now. And it's been such a common thing, and it even got its name SSG, and I think even SSG's lineup changed from that time.
Yeah.
So a lot of teams have had not only the time, but also the possibility and the games to put it into practice as well to find an effective counter to that. And I think that's what most team have done. And what I'm seeing now from SSG Rose is kind of a little personal twist to it. You might see a little bit of a different setup in the bar side. You might see a different kind of play over in Armory. It's usually just a tad bit changed up from the original strategy. I mean, it has to be. They can't all run the same strategy. That would be counter to hell. So, yeah, if you would see an SSG roam, I would hope to at least see a little bit of a twist onto it.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to put your own how would you put it, signature at the bottom.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see that come out. I mean, I think personally, maybe in a Rooney, we've already talked about her earlier in the day, kind of about how strong she is and how good a position she is. So I think personally she might be the answer to making it back to what it used to be, with the fact that you can block off doorways and the fact that she has that kind of ability to make rotates on a whim. Um, uh, is there any other operators that you would maybe like to point towards, and when we're coming into this map of Clubhouse? Because I mean, at the end of the day, you always really see Ace, Zoth, Ash, maybe like kind of, I don't know, a Twitch, and Sledge, a need operator. Is there anybody else you'd like to point towards?
Not really. Clubhouse has been such a regimented map nowadays that the operator lineup with the map has been very regimented with it as well. So there's not much room for the attack to really switch around operator wise. As you said, the Heart Breacher, especially two, you need two, as an Ace and a Maverick or Hibana. Thermite, not so much. Thermite is basically an Ace with extra steps. So not necessarily your second heartbeat of choice there, but I mean, if Ibana is banned, you're kind of stuck with him. You kind of need to go for the Thermite or the Maverick at that point. But yeah, the Ace definitely standard on there. The Sledge as well, I totally agree with that. You need your entry fragger. You call the Twitch, I'd call an Ash. Every single lineup consists of those same things, especially on Coastline Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's yet again to see how the teams can put their own twist to it, can make the playstyle just a little bit different, and of course, you need to react to what the defense are bringing as well. You cannot bluntly push through a doorway with the five of you guys, otherwise, you're going to be playing a totally different game, not Rainbow Six Siege. Siege is all about the heart destruction and about the destruction of the floors, walls, windows, whatever. And that's what makes Siege, honestly, in my heart, very unique.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, we can justify almost anything with the kind of new secondary gadgets that have come in with hard breachers, gun sixes, and the likes. Yannick, so I mean, we could speculate here all day about what's going to come, and we'll never know. That's just, as you said, the beauty of Rainbow Six and how it kind of always ends up. In terms of defenders, though, that's where you probably see your ingenuity, your kind of like flexi picks potentially. We've already pointed towards a Rooney. For instance, I mean, I'd probably say Valkyrie would be my pick as that kind of it's maybe not an off pick, but it's maybe something you don't sit there and think, oh, this is what we need. More of like this is like what we can pick.
Yeah, I agree. The Valkyrie would be a very good addition to your side. Of course, those black eye cameras, given she's not banned, can give a lot of information at the right time. Clubhouse has a lot of good default cameras, but they're supposed to be shot. We've already seen one team that doesn't really take that very, very seriously, but hey, we cannot really speculate that about all teams, right? You would assume that most teams would shoot the default cams, but yeah, those Valkyrie cams would be an amazing addition to those default cams. You can place them in very ingenious and nifty spots, even. You can control a lot of area with it. You can hold flanks as a defenders. You know, if you're already holding one angle with a camera, you don't need a gun holding an angle, which just relieves the defense so much. So yeah, Valkyrie, a very good intel gathering operator and a very good addition to your lineup. I'd like to see more Rooney being played, and I really, really keep stressing this. Rooney, I think, is being slept on or not really being played as much as she will be later on, although we did see the same with Iana as well. It took a couple of seasons for her to really get into play, to really get into the solid rosters of the teams. And yeah, a lot of room to kind of switch around on the defense, a lot more than on the attack. And speaking about defense, Carnivora, starting on their defense, they get to ban their first operator as well. Are we going to see that infamous Thatcher ban that we see on almost all Rainbow Six Siege maps?
Right, let's see here. Potentially, I imagine it will be a Thatcher as it starts to tick down a little bit quicker. Are we going to see it? No.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, I did say Habana. Do you know what? I'm counting the Habana. I said Habana Maverick, right? That's what we'll say.
Yeah.
But we'll find out very quickly. I imagine it will be Thatcher. We'll find in about 10 seconds approximately. But a Habana ban, that's pretty big. I mean, when you think about it, Habana is pretty strong in terms of if you press, like, she's got that kind of functionality on her gadget where she can change the amount of pellets and kind of counter those tricks from the below the impact trick. And finally, we see the Thatcher ban coming out, and pretty standard, to be honest.
Yeah, the Thatcher ban, we've talked about this before, it's so standard among so many maps in Rainbow Six Siege. Honestly, when I saw that ban, I was like, oh, maybe a Thatcher game, sorry, a Clubhouse game with the Thatcher available. But no, it's not gonna be the case. The mirror ban coming out as well, very good ban from Exa Equal. They don't want to face those mirror windows. I've highlighted this before in the first map of Chalet. It's just so scary to come up against them. That black rectangle of death, as I'd like to call them. The last band. You were right. The cave band, you got them all four. Well played.
Thank you. I mean, do you know what? I'm going to go out after this and I'm going to go and put on the lottery.
You should. It's very, very good. Very good. Very, very, very good predictions here. And honestly, it's... Ooh. Some new names here for me.
All right, okay. But anyway, look, Yannick, it looks as if we're heading to Gym Bedroom first. It's not even what we thought it was going to be. And it looks as if it's a little bit of a bait here as they've set up for a kind of SSG setup, if you look at the operators. And yeah. I think we could potentially see sixth pick.
Frost,
there we go.
Please. Oh, no. I was talking about this with a good friend of mine, and we talked about how Frost has really gotten back. Not back, I've gone into the meta of Gym Bedroom. She used to play that a lot, and she still does nowadays, and it's really interesting to see how even in top tier play you see an operator such as Frost with, if you would ask anybody, any analyst a year ago, they'd be like, well, Frost? What do you mean Frost? She doesn't deserve any spot in competitive. But here she is making an appearance sometime. Well, not on this round, but we might see her later on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, though, is like Frost has such a good kit now. She's got the secondary shotgun, can make your rotates, maybe like give the mute his MP5K. You've also got like those pog mats that are able to catch people off guard, especially when you're a pro. Because I mean, like when if you can hide the Frost or like kind of keep her hidden or somehow, you can kind of catch players off guard, and she gets more use as time goes on because people forget to check. They get lazy. They get kind of maybe not lazy, or maybe they get like a bit more erratic in terms of what they need to get done, and get like kind of be a bit faster. And so that's what kind of catches players off. I definitely agree. I mean, since I think it was G2 in that theme park game,
yes.
That was so good, man. But like that kind of brought back the return of Frost.
Yeah, indeed. And you said the Pugmats. I just want to touch up a little bit more on what you said about the discrepancy in like the higher ranked players. You would expect them to be more aware of their existence, but if you look at how effective they are, it's kind of a reverse bell curve. It works really well on low ranked players. It works really well on higher ranked players because you don't expect her to see her that often. As we are moving into the first minute here, being elapsed, Sheba Meister is working away at the Jacuzzi breach, kind of essential here for the attack on to Gym Bedroom. The first kill, though, is going to fall into the washed feet, onto the ash, not the washed feet. It's going to fall into the ash of washed feet. And next to Equo looking not so strong, losing the first man out here in the first half of the round.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. The fact they've just lost the Ash, and at least they've still got the sledge on the board to kind of do the soft breaching that they need to do. That player of sledge will just need to get close and personal. We now look at all the defenders; they know exactly where the other four players of XAQ are kind of queued up on. They're just waiting to see when they're going to enter, and Ayana Drone's going to be doing the scouting that they need to do. There goes two ADSs and a player in towards the rotating Mozzie, takes a fight but wins it out, and there goes your Maverick. He's already done his work though, it's just only utility. You are going to lose the sledge dropping into Logi Yannick. He's going to pick up one, but there's still 50 seconds to go.
Joe Corn getting a triple on his name now, pulling all the heavy weight here for Carnivora, putting the attackers down on half of the man count that they have. And it's two operators which have more of a support role, but they need to start getting these guns ablaze if they want to win this round. X Eco, they need to start winning their gunfights. They win their first, and that's CRR, the Muzzy, off the board. Fabianski going to be pushing in without the Yana clone, with the real body. He's going to get tagged as well now. He's going to get killed by Shingi and Joe Corn, getting the fourth kill on his name this round. This man, he carried this round on his back, I think.
Yeah, exactly. He certainly did getting those frags. I thought it was in Mozzie that got the Maverick. Maybe I'm just blind, but the fact that like he was able to kind of keep going through that round, pick after pick. I mean, that's all you can ask from your kind of your Jaeger player. They're always known for being those frag heavy defenders. And now we're going to a more traditional site of CC Cash, and it looks like they're not catching anybody off with this lineup. I mean, maybe the Pulse. That's kind of an off pick. I don't really see that very often. And as I say that, he goes and here comes Rooney.
I think what they were trying to do with that pulse there is trying to indicate or signal a downstairs hold where a pulse is more, I'd say more common to be picked. Kind of putting Exa Eco on the wrong footing here. They might be defending downstairs. I mean, both sides are still open, and I wouldn't blame Exa Eco to think that. But Carnivora might be playing the smart mind game here and could waste a lot of time if done correctly. If Exa Eco just cannot get their mindset back into a CCTV push early enough.
See the CCTV push, Yannick. I always find as if it's like always hangs by a thread at any moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I definitely get it. Yeah.
like it just goes at any moment. Like you, see if you like don't do one thing. There's like no, they always. I don't know how many times like people talk about like the whole. Oh, there's a big checklist that you've got to do as an attacker. You've got to clear out rafters, clear out kind of construction, clear out top red, open up breach, open up the garage walls, etc., and so on and so forth. Like, see, if you fail to do one of those things, like that could just be the failure of your round, and that's just like we always find CC Cash so good for a defender.
Yeah, indeed, CC Cash I mean, it's a reason why it's one of the top pick sites on Clubhouse, right? It's such an necessarily an easy site. There's a lot for you to worry about. Rafters control, definitely one of the big things here. Sheba Meister having a little bit of a tough time opening that as a weird shape for a Maverick Breach. He's getting a little trouble there on the Maverick Breach. He seems to be a little bit stuck. Maybe a bit new to this Maverick in game. Might offend him with that. Who knows? I'll find you in my DMs, buddy, if you want to fight me. Just kidding. Just kidding. He's working his way. It's taking a bit of a longer time than usual, though. It's already 1 minute elapsed, and he only has the top part done. I hope they can get more efficient with this, but there it goes. Finally, they are done and dusted with at least the heart-breaching part of that, and there comes the sledge with the sledge saber or the caber, excuse me, to do the damage.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what a shot there by Shiba Master. I was about to say something along the lines with the caber tossing, etc., because that is where it comes from in Scotland. But that doesn't matter, because the only thing getting tossed is Wamai's body off of rafters. So good. It looks as if the Jaeger's going to try and retake that position, though. And so far, I think X8EQ are looking so much better as the Maverick's going to take up a second, and there goes a third. And Washed Feed, he's getting his first on the board. The Jaeger and Rooney left to kind of win it all out.
Eco looking really word for word. Shinji needs to go big here. Finds one more Washed Feet, ready to take on the gunfight. Is Shinji ready for this? He's not taking the gunfight just yet, giving Shinji some time to regain some cognitive awareness after getting on that first gunfight. But look at the man count. Even though X-Equal have double the amount of men that Carnivora does, they still need to work with that timer. The timer is the only saving grace here for Carnivora, as Shinji finds one more into Baldi, and it's leveling out just a little bit more. Shiba Meister on 1 HP should be an easy kill with any gun in the game, but Washed Feet here getting up close, gets shut down by Guess. And now it's all down back equal to a 2v2. And we're looking at the time. Guess finds one more. He knows that the last one is on 1 HP. Gets that shot. And Guess with the amazing retake. The amazing play and game sense from him to switch from one to the next. Wins Carnivora the round.
Oh, I mean, how do you throw a 5 versus 2 situation, Yannick? How do you not set up the crossfires and just work away? And all you need to do is just pick one after the other. That's just so heartbreaking. I hate to see that rounds thrown. You know what? Fair play to Carnivora. They actually did the work they needed to do, and they played it so well, all in. All in. So I mean, end of the day, you can't really blame Carnivora for doing the work that they put in, because I mean they put in so much work. And Echo being brought, though, that's quite an interesting one, in my opinion, because we don't really get to see him get brought that often nowadays.
Sorry, can you say that one more time? Who did you not see? An Echo?
The Echo pick, yeah, I don't really see him on the
sorry,
board that often.
I was just looking at the live chat here, just saw something pop up, excuse me. But no, the Echo, yeah, no, indeed. I would rather see a Maverick in this situation. The Echo he's good. I mean, we've seen him a lot, especially in EUL, getting some really game-changing plays, even if not with his drone, with his weapons. And I think since his little change from the invisible to the visible drones, you know, that has changed with like a couple patches ago. A lot of defensive teams have changed the way they use their Echo drones. It used to be where the defenders used to play it more passively, like, it's invisible anyway, let's leave it on sight, and then the defenders can't really see it except when they bring in IQ. But now when it's visible, the defending team sees it more as an actual drone, less like the attackers see their drone. You've got a drone where the defenders are. Of course, it can fly through hatches if it needs to, so it becomes a really overpowered little drone that has the effect of stunning, and not to mention he has two of them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there is two, and you can hide them in so many spots, whether it be like under a desk or what. You know, I mean, that can't be underestimated. How many kind of wee silly spots that you can get thrown off by, and how do you call like it's under the desk? What desk? But do you want to know what? CRR, he's going to put Baldy under. That's 6 foot under, and that's your sledge gone, Yannick. I mean, that's a good kill. That is doing the work that you need to do, and the question's got to be asked. Was he droned out? It doesn't seem to be the case, but Shiba, he's going to be able to flick onto the head of the Jaeger, and this roam clear's not going well.
Guess is having a tough time hitting his shots that should really have gone the Maverick of Shiba Meister on the first entry, but he whiffed. and then he got the kill onto CRR or Car. I don't know. He got the kill onto that person, and the Jaeger, and he yet again couldn't get the refrag. Very unfortunate there. If this round does end up going to the side of Execo, that might be something he can look back on to be like, ooh, oh boy, it's a real big turning point. I kind of whiffed there, but it's okay. It's in the past now. It's time for Carnivore to regroup. They haven't necessarily lost too much. They're actually positive. If you look at the HP pool for both teams, Shiba Meister yet again on low HP. It seems to be the butt of most of the early aggression from Carnivora, as they are getting pressured back onto site. The first Ace Soma Chargers are going to be working their heart-breaching magic on the hatches.
Yeah, I hope this Maverick really jumps off this hatch when he's going to. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I was hoping he wasn't going to try and hot drop that Maverick hatch there, because that could be detrimental. And it looks as if his head's going to peek out. Joe Corn continuing doing the work that he needs to do, and he's just going to escape as well. No refrag, being able to get out here as the hatch was almost open as well. Good thing is, though, the kitchen hatch is open. So, I mean, at least they've got that to kind of use for the execute if they do decide to do it. IQ, she's on towards the bottom, and it's 20 seconds left for this execute.
Not that much time to work with, and the defenders seem pretty well entrenched. And you can see here the hasty approach from the attackers means that they're not going to be that coordinated. Joe Corn finds one, Guess finds one to finally get a kill on his name, not whiffing this time, and Taxes gets one as well onto Matthew. And with that Carnivora, a very good defensive round. I'd almost say down to the T here.
I mean, all they did was just kind of, do you know what, Carnivora. Do you know what they did, Yannick? They just got the kind of sun chairs out. They're thinking, today's a good day. We'll just chill. We're going to take our breaths, get our cigars out, and just enjoy the sunshine. And, I mean, what else can you do there? They had already done the initial work, gotten up, getting that one pick. Unlucky not to get two. Let's make sure that's clear. And then they rotated back down to site. Do you know what? I actually noticed there was an echo drone upstairs droning the roamers. That's a terrifying thought. Could you imagine someone droning a roamer around about the map?
Like I said, Echo is getting played really differently nowadays than you would see about a year ago. It's really interesting how that has evolved now with the changes. I don't think Ubisoft really had that in mind when they took that invisibility away. But yeah, it's a really scary thought to have a Jaeger being droned in. It's legitimately a Jaeger getting droned in. You get what that sounds? You get what that means? My God,
Yeah,
it's so
no,
scary.
I know.
So
And
scary.
it's not even that though. Like, the thing is as well, like, the big disadvantage is the fact that, like, attackers need to be droned in, and defenders always have that kind of advantage. And now that they've also got kind of equal in the playing field in terms of intel, oh my God, man, like. No, let's just stop the nightmares here and start talking about this next round.
Might see a rehost coming in here from Carnivora. We do see it brought up in chat. If any debate on admin decision for this to happen. Oh, the team kill coming out on the Sinji. It's going to put the castle off the board. Carnivora is still 3 rounds up. It's not quite sure if we're going to play this round, but if you look at this lineup, this could be very... Oh my God, Joe Corn already equalizes. That's your Ash off the board again. And Ash, after 3, now even 4 rounds played, only with 1 kill, does not bode well. That's your entry fragger, no less. Oh, the C4. Oh, that was
what
scary.
a catch.
Oh boy, that was scary.
Oh my goodness gracious me. I mean, I don't even know why. That catch from the sledge is God tier. Making sure that I think it was a Maverick, I was on the breach there, making sure he doesn't get caught out. I mean, I think they were unlucky not to get it through the hole back on to that other side, but that is what it is. Now, on the other hand, though, we've still got roamers on the board. It's a bit of intel work being done by the attackers. We've still got the player downstairs, mute in towards Logi. So, I mean, look, it's not bad. So we've got 3 players still on the board holding key positions. The Mozzie's back in that master bedroom. And do you know what? It's going to be a 2-2 pinch, Yannick, because we've got 2 on the main breach, or we did have 2 on the main breach, and we've also got 2, but I imagine it'll be 3 in towards this kind of construction / logic area.
The attackers are getting ready for that execute that you were talking about just now. The defenders need to kind of take the pressure in and hold it off. Jess from downstairs, or Guess, he would need to come back to site very, very soon here. Tax is getting pressured from the hatch. It's a very, very scary prospect, knowing that somebody could just drop down there with no call whatsoever, and that's exactly what happens. He gets found, goes for the refrag, but no. CRR gets deleted off the board, and Jess now in a 1v3 needs to start holding the angles. He gets the Maverick, a good first kill. Now the plant going down from Matthew cannot stick onto it, but the grenade from Shiba Meister does the job, and X Equo finally find themselves on the board.
Goodness gracious. Oh. That caught me off guard there. I just got you on out of absolutely nowhere. That's what happens when you rise early in the morning, Yannick. But at the end of the day, I mean, what can be done? The frags came out and Carnivora didn't seem to have an answer. I just saw that Finker getting picked there and my heart kind of just sank. I was like, are we going to be seeing a rush? Surely not on CC Cash. But it is what it is. We move on. Unfortunately enough, the side of Carnivora was on a man deficit from the get-go due to the kind of technical, the glitch or what bug that they kind of had to deal with. But we move on, we move forth. We'll see what the script is. And this next round, CC Cash won that Carnivora actually managed to win out quite well, I say quite convincingly. It was a 2 versus 5, but they clutched it convincingly, in my opinion.
Yeah, clutched it very convincingly, they did, although I strongly doubt if you can really count on the man or the power of the two Carnivora players to really kick back in here. They can surely not depend on that to win their CCTV hold. Something needs to change, and they probably know that. They know that they won that by the skin of their teeth, and it's now their time to adapt to that. The team as Carnivora, I've seen them adapt earlier in different games. They haven't had to adapt this time around as they've only lost their first round here. But, hey, X Equal, they're still bringing the same lineup, so who knows? They've lost 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah, exactly. And the question is do you know what? See, now that X Equal have actually got 1 round on the board, will they answer back with another 2? Because it is a momentum-based game. I mean, I talk about it. I've started talking about it now. I mean, there's the caster bingo card. Let's see how many we can name. FPS. It's at the core, it's an FPS shooter. I mean, it's a momentum-based game. I mean, there's all sorts that we kind of come out with when we're casting, and that is, but it's the truth. You know what I mean, Yannick? We can waffle and talk about this kind of stuff as much as we want, but then at the core, what we say kind of is the truth.
Indeed, it's, as you say, a lot of the caster stuff. I mean, the caster bingo card. It's in the caster bingo card for a reason, right? It's the truth, as you said. It's part of the game. It is an FPS shooter. It's a momentum-based game, and if you look at it in that perspective, it might be a little bit too 2D. Joe Corn is going to take the head off of Shiba Meister, and with that, also the head of the Maverick is going to be gone. And I'm going to have to solemnly rely onto the ace to open up any more reinforced walls. Sinji with the 1 playing quite the aggressive angle. CRR doing the exact same on the flank. Could find another one here if he is successful, but he's not going to be. Not even going to tag anyone just yet. The Ash finally gets her second kill of the game here as we are entering halfway point of round number 5. Not really good for your entry fragger. Washed feet. Might need to wash his hands as well. They might be a bit greasy or something as he is not hitting his shots this game. A lot of kills have been fallen, 3 to be exact, and Carnivore, they have come out of it on top with 1 minute remaining.
Ooh, what a shot there from Joe Corn. I'm sorry I had to interrupt you there, Yannick. I just seen that. I just seen that through the. Oh, cool, thank you. I just seen the shot through the bars and I was like, oh my god. Fabionski and Baldy, though, they two are left to do it all. Fabionski, he's going to take a bit of damage out in this construction area. I don't know who it is that's contesting him, but at the end of the day, there's still 3 players there and they're going to keep contesting. Do you know what? I'll just stop talking. It's fine. You obviously don't want me to talk Carnivora because there we go. We finished that round out very convincingly. And what more can you be said?
Carnivore now already got 4 rounds on the board, looking to get a fifth, looking very similar to that Chalet game we were casting earlier today. Cairo, seeing a
Yeah.
team very dominant on their defense. And
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
the difference this time is, though, that while Chalet is historically, or well, not much history on there, but typically a more attacking-sided map, this is more of a defensive-sided map. Carnivora, they have won 4 rounds. If Exa Eco can win the next, it's not the end of life for them. But if they only were able to get 1 round off of the 6th round played in the first half, they have such a little margin of error and such a long road ahead of them to push us into equalization or overtime. So, for the sake of Exa Eco, the next round needs to fall onto them and in their pocket. Otherwise, I am going to be really pessimistic about my chances of seeing Exa Eco win this game.
Well, I mean, someone's got to be pessimistic, Yannick, and I'm glad that it's not me for a change. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, Clubhouse is very defender-sided. Here we go, bring out the caster bingo card. You can add another tick onto one of your boxes because it's a defender-sided game, and you know what? The 4-2 split is what's normal when bringing up that 5-1 kind of half. That means that when it goes to the tertiary sites and you win what is you win those sites, which that's what's expected of you. I mean, you put yourself in a really good position, and we talk about it all the time. All you need to do is then win those 2 tertiary sites, and that's it. That's you guaranteed the match. The kind of taking all 3 points. Anyway, looks as if we're going to be heading to some sort of kitchen execute. Doesn't look to be an extensive roam clear as what we've seen previous. We've got one player in up, one player playing in towards army. I don't know if there's any roamers. I can see an echo down there as well. Baldy, he's holding in towards this kind of waiting to see if there's any sort of flanks coming out, any kind of aggressive angles, maybe towards main stairs, maybe in towards that kind of storage container area. The thing is, one thing that I forgot about is there could also be one below, but it's not one below you need to worry about, it's the one below, one above it. I'm just totally messed up that point I was about to do. Doesn't matter, there's one frag on the board and there goes Joe Corn.
Indeed, Joe Corn getting the first kill, being the first kill here of the round with some weird Maverick art here onto that wall. He sees the shield and he's very scary of it. CRR, though, is something you should be scary about when you're attacking this bomb site. He is wreaking havoc. He already has 3 kills on his name, and he wants to get more. He's hungry for more with this aggressive stance on main stairs, seemingly not wanting to give that up just yet. Sinji, Guess, they're both on site, holding onto site, and that smoke should still be playing inside of dirt. Never mind, he has been taken down. Texas has now been found dead inside dirt, leaving an opening for the attackers to push through.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I was just about to make a point there, but Fabianski running through, and just fortunate, I should say, not to lose his life. Although, Matthew, he's not fortunate. He's very unfortunate. That's one other player off the board. It's now a Zofia, a Sledge, and a Maverick. Got to remember, though, that Sledge is 0 for 5. Fabianski not having a good game today, and that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles. That's just unfortunate. We do have one player in towards Dot. It's the Zofia. And do you know what? She's waiting to see if she can get the call to swing. Guess knows exactly where she is. He's holding the angle on towards where the blue player is. Here we go. Here comes the execute. The Mav's coming down and the plant's going down, Yannick.
Shiva Meister with the plant going down. CRR finds a third on his name. The plant goes off, and he gets the kill. CRR for the ace. Can he get it? Yes, sir. He cannot. Excuse me, he can't. I thought he was. I was trying to do a bit of a prediction game there, but no. Sinji will get the kill on washed feet, and with that, Carnivora winning their 5th round of the game. Excuse me for a little bit of caster prediction there. It's a little bit unprofessional. Excuse me for that, but I thought he was going to get that. He was looking so strong with 4 kills. Equal. You were so close. You got those early picks, but Carnivora they held on. They held on for dear life, and I think it all came down to that planter getting off of the defuse, going for the peak, and ultimately losing his life. The Zofia had the cover. and the planter did not believe in it.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. They should have just stuck the plant, held the angles, and then played passive. That's all you need to do. Keep one player on that hatch, but everyone dropped into sight, and then it came down to frags. I would be very scared if I had accidentally dropped, and then CRR was looking like the shark that he is. The amount of kills that this man has got in the past couple of rounds has been ridiculous. That's 6 that he's got so far in this game. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's all impactful frags, especially when you're 5-1 up. I mean, he's also got 4 assists as well, Yannick. So, I mean, will we say, like, kind of, he's only 6? I mean, he's still been involved in 10 kills in total in this match.
It's honestly scary to see him on the Ash. If he gets droned in and gets the right information from his teammates, he might be able to go on an absolute tear coming in out of this attacking half of Carnivora right now. Him and Jess, they have both been insanely good holding their weapons and wielding them as absolute professionals. Not to mention Jokorn with 9 as well. They have been fragging. Carnivore has winning their gunfights. Most of them, actually, if not all, well, not all of them, most of them of their gunfights have been won by Carnivora, but Fabianski on Eco, he's yet to wake up. CRR getting the aggressive peek in, does not get a kill. Baldy escaping with his life, but I think that was only millimeters away from him getting his head taken off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt it, but especially with the fact it was CRR's gun that was firing away there. Unfortunately, though, and that's another player kept on the board. Do you know what? I never realised we're actually seeing the 0 here, Yannick. A player that an op that we kind of talked about before. I get quite excited when I see this man popping out. But do you know what else I get excited for? When there's gunfight happening, here comes the Jaeger. There goes the 0 ball, closing him down. Do you know what? He only got 2 down. I kind of got excited when I seen him, and do you know what? It doesn't even matter because he's off the board now.
Sad Cairo noises indeed. Joe Corn found his demise. Yeah, sad. He's 6 feet on the ground in a grave, looking as Cairo casted so happily, and now he's just sad. But still, Carnivore have a long way to go. They have 4 men that are very capable of winning the gunfights and winning this round for them. Eco, though, this is the time for them to sit back and relax. They got their first opening kill. They've put the pressure, and they're putting the pressure even more now with the C4 kill onto CRR. That's the Ash and the Fragger of the board. Now got Guess, 7 kills. He still might have something to say here. He could go big and win the round for Carnivora, but seems to be more like an eco around to me here as the timer is slowly ticking down. We're passing 1 minute remaining. We're passing the point of no return here for Carnivore to start making their execute. A team kill coming out from eco is going to make their life a little bit easier. It's going to make their life and their attacking execute just a tad bit more workable for them. 1 less gun and no smoke canisters to work with for them. For eco.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that they've lost those smoke canisters, but also losing Matthew as a player. And now, do you know what? You know what? They don't even know the army's a bit more open now. They're going to open up this side wall. Maybe they do, actually. Maybe I'm talking nonsense. That it does tend to be my cast. And there goes Guess, and here we go. He's going to run straight into the army. Fabianski goes. And now we're left with Shiba Master in a clutch situation. But I don't even want to know what happened there. Their gun skill, though, being able to take those 2 players off. The one, especially the player that was on, I think it was like box 1 there. Oh, that was absolutely gorgeous.
I am so sorry for interrupting you with my no ways, but I'm
it's
just...
fine.
Equal, what are you doing? What are you doing? You had a 5v3 and you threw it. You just went. Well, we have a 5v3. Let's just yeet that into the bin or at the yeet that out the window. Because what is this? What did I watch? We're in a pose right now as eco, so I guess they have to regroup. They gotta think about what they just did, what just happened. I'm astounded. What did I just watch, Cairo? Did we just guess? By the way, he went big. He got 3 kills there. That Zofia, I was talking about it. He said he's the only real fragger, the one with actual kills on the board, that he could go big, and he went big. So, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, pick about we could start to like pick apart everything that's happened this game. But if I was to say anything, I would just say is X equal. Um, sorry, I think I've got my teams mixed up. It's X equal that are up 6-1, isn't it?
No, it's Carnivore. That's up 6-1.
Oh, sorry, I'm just being my head's gone. It's that late at night.
It's all right.
But yeah, but my point, what I was going to say is the fact that like Exit Eco, they just keep throwing rounds and giving Carnivora frags. I mean, I don't know what happened with the team kill. I hope it wasn't a skin. But the fact that they had to team kill there at the kind of end of that round, or the end of that round when Execute was coming in and left himself that extra man down. I mean, if they had that extra man, we don't know what would have happened, and that's just the unfortunate part of like this kind of whole scenario. But yeah, I mean, we've got to give plaudits to the players of Carnivore because I mean they have actually been running around like predators with those guns. They've just been taking people out left, right, and centre.
Yeah, I just want to talk about that player of X Eco that is still on 0 kills. I think it was Fabianski.
Yeah.
He was a maestro last round. He has an Alda that I know for a fact can go burr. So he really needed to step up that round. Stuck in a 5v3. They had everything going for them. They even had the time going for them. How did they mess that one
Oh,
up? I can't fathom this. It's so basic, and more than that, I think this might be big into the mental game as well. Now we've gone into the rehost. You were talking about this being a momentum-based game, and Carnivora had a lot of that. But I think this round here could go and nest itself into Exa Eco's head
yeah.
and be a really tilting round, causing them to get maybe some internal issues. Maybe they start screaming at each other, a little bit mad at each other. Maybe uh, maybe the teammates are just gonna start misdroning something. They're gonna be more hasty in their approach. I don't know. It might just be the tilting point here, literally a tilt, a factor. This round was for X Eco, and honestly, with the performance they've had this last 6 rounds or 7 rounds, I'm looking at my notes down here. I don't see them winning it. I'm really sorry for X Eco, and I would love to give you the comeback story you guys so nearly had, or excuse me, almost nearly had against you guys in Villa last time, but just this isn't it. This is not the way you play Clubhouse. You're playing it in such a bad form. I think Carnivore are going to take this one.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you at all. This is the thing, though. We might potentially see this kind of. We might see a comeback though, Yannick. We can't disregard the fact that there is an impromptu timeout, if you want to call it. It's a rehost. We're having to deal with technical issues. We apologise. Just one of the players not is not kind of working out for them. But that's the fact. Though these kind of these impromptu kind of like timeouts could potentially be to the benefit of the kind of losing side because they get to recuperate, get a restart on their mental game, but they are one game off losing. There can be no mistakes anymore, and this is where I'm worried.
Yeah, it's tough to see a situation where Exa Eco can win this game unless suddenly Carnivore needs to drop one player and they win this 7. They can't even win it 7-6. They need to go all the way to overtime. They need 5 rounds in a row, mind you. They need from now on a clean defensive half. Do they even want to get into overtime? Carnivora got themselves the point they wanted, but let's be honest, they want more.
Yeah, exactly. We'll definitely find out what the script is soon. We're just kind of waiting, and that's the unfortunate thing. That's all we can do, Yannick. We can speculate all we want as well. But do you know what? We're just going to head to a quick break here, just very quickly, just until we get everything sorted, and then we'll be right back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here today with the Exa Eco versus Carnivora game. We had a quick rehost here, had a little bit of a technical issue, but we should be all sorted to get back into the action soon enough. We left off with Carnivora dominating the game. There's a full sea of them. Winning now 6-1 is the scoreline for Carnivora. One more round for them to win the series. One thing to have in the bag is that one crucial point.
Yeah, exactly. They've at least confirmed overtime if we get to that point. Obviously, we're just kind of having to deal with the problems that the players were dealing with, and then we'll get the others in chat and get ready to go. We're just waiting on our wonderful observer, Fermi, getting us those hours. But Yannick, I mean, so far it's just been all carnivore. They've just been running around like mad, just getting those frags that they need to be, and it's just been more. I would say more a matter of gunfights, which has been. I mean, it's really been the case all day.
Yeah, indeed. Carnivore have been winning their gunfights left and right. We're back here in the game now. After a quick rehost clubhouse, as you have mentioned, our lovely observer Ferme, and not to mention our producer Grism. He is behind the scenes as well. Quick shout out to them for being with us here for the past, let's say, 3 hours. So, here we are. Round number 8, 6-1 for Carnivora. We're heading to Church and Arsenal Room yet again. They lost it last time due to an amazing clutch from Carnivora. Guess went huge, getting, I think it was 3 kills on the board. Well, let's see how Exa Eco have adapted to that attack from Carnivora this time around.
Yeah, exactly. We saw Carnivora being able to win the round out in that last one there. And this basement defence, they did so well in terms of picking up frags. There was an unfortunate TK that happened. I don't know how it happened, but I'd maybe say potentially could be the thing that cost them that round. But do you know what? You know what? That's only speculation. We can only wait and find out, because at the end of the day, there was still 4 other players on the board, Yannick. Still plenty of guns on that table to win the fight. We're heading now. I mean, it's almost similar, but not too similar to that of the Oregon basement. And the fact that you can kind of sit and wait and let the attackers do their stuff, and then hope you win the gunfights when it comes down to it. But the thing is, though, sometimes just having that extra presence upstairs to deny the work, to kind of be that disruption in your life, I mean, that can just be the help.
So you go to that disruption. We do see Fabianski, who, even though we had a rehost this in the whole game, sitting on 0 kills, might find his first here on that roam with the Malusi. Not sure if he's the most suitable player to play on this roam game here. He's now an Adam. He might really get a kill or two. If he gets a kill, that's going to be huge for the side of X Eco. But yet again, we saw Carnivora come back from that. Those opening kills don't mean that much. This time around. It's the same thing with Kel's Disciples, and Baldy does get aggressive, gets on the gas, and he might get a second here. A lot of HP being traded out between Jokorn and him, but no. Baldy falls back to sight, giving Jokorn the fright of his life, and they both walk away with bullet wounds.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of health lost, but do you want to know what? The fact that they've actually lost the player of Guess means a lot more. Unfortunately, we can't bring up the stats from the last game, but what we can tell you is that Guess was one of the players to watch. He was one of the guys that was just popping off consistently. Interestingly enough, though, we have brought the Jackal this time. That's going to help with the roam clear. A very kind of roam targeted operator, all in all, in terms of how his utility works, gives information out, a constant pinging of where that player is, depending on how quickly they were able to scan the footprints. We're a minute and 30 into the round. It doesn't feel like it, but time is flying. The only thing that's not flying is the utility or any gunfight share. That'll probably come down to the last 20 seconds. So, I mean, Yannick, what would you say so far? We've not even got... Oh, sorry, I lied. I was about to say we've not even got dirt open, but we have. We've also got the hatch open in Moto. Looks as if Mavic's about to do some work. Oh, I was about to say do some work onto the kitchen hatch, but I lie. I just seem to be in that kind of mood today.
I don't really know what to say about Carnivora's attack. We have seen them rely on the gunfights in the last couple of rounds, at least the last round on the attack. No lines of sight have been opened up from up top. You see how the floorboards up top is still all in one piece, and none of it has been destructed. A nade from Sinji could go big. We'll see just where that will land, but I want my Geyser will probably just eat that up, and that's exactly what happens. Shiva Meister together with Sinji. Shiva Meister is going to be looking to get these kills here by X Equo. They need to start getting the kills on the board. At least Carnivora will need to. CRR is going to get aggressive, finds
Ooh.
one. Good first kill here for Carnivora. Needs to find more though. With 15 seconds remaining, time is running low. Joe Corn finds one as well, and with that, man advantage switch. But a sea of blue puts it all into X Equo's hands. CRR needs to go big here. He does not have Diffuser in hand. It's on the other side of the wall, friend. You're not going to get that. He might get a kill here, but no. The Diffuser being on the other side of the wall will be the demise of CRR. And with that, the hopes of X Equo, for Carnivora to win round number 8. We're heading to round number 9, but it's still match point. A long way to go for X Equo, but they're inching their way towards it, Cairo. They're getting closer.
Yeah, definitely close and close. That's it. They've only got 4 more rounds to. Oh, bless me. Apologies, but they've only got 4 more rounds to go. Yannick, that's all that's got left. Thanks, Grizzle. He just said bless you in production, so thanks to him. But anyway, enough of that. What Eco need though is they need to be blessed with 4 more rounds to even get 1 point and take us to that 3 round shootout. They're going to switch off the castle to Wamai as we head back to CC Cash. Maybe they're trying to bait out the fact that they're actually going to Gym Bedroom. But no, that won't be the case. I mean, I don't think we've seen this site yet. Actually, I don't think the only site we've seen is bottom floor, if I'm right in saying that, Yannick.
Yep. The only site that actually could have held was on Arsenal
Yeah.
downstairs. So yeah, the first time we're seeing CCTV.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check there just in case. But yeah, I mean, like, so it'll be interesting to see how X-Equal build on this round one. Maybe this kind of reset is what needed them, or sorry, is what they needed. I know I needed it. So, I mean, I don't mean that. Sorry, it was just because I needed to go to the toilet. I was making a joke to production. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of comes out there.
Carnivora, they need to start getting ready to win this game. If they can't start them, they cannot let the momentum fall into Eco's hands any longer. They can maybe lose one more round without too much of a problem. But if they start losing more, Eco is going to feel really comfortable with what they're doing. Sinji on the Maverick, he's going to work away at the CCTV wall. Is he going to go for the... No, he's not going to go for the full breach. He's going to shoot down the mute jammer, and with that, the Ace can use his Soma charges to open up this wall. Very quick way to open up this CCTV wall. A lot quicker than the way X-Eco did on their attacks. This could spell more good things to come for Carnivora. As we still have 2 minutes remaining, we're not even close to the halfway mark of the round. Some map control has been established, some breaching has been done, but nothing really has cemented itself to really show a Carnivora around.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping that they don't slow down too much and it ends up being a stalled out round because that would just be heartbreaking. But do you want to know what, Joe Con? He doesn't slow down, especially not after this rehost. He's picking up another kill for himself. I mean, this man has just been consistent. And you want to know what? This Baldy, he's going to stay in towards lobby. He's just unfortunate. The timing doesn't work out for him and he doesn't take the player entering in towards garage. I mean, Yannick, CRR, he's bringing out another one. There goes the player of Matthew. That's your mute gun. Potentially a C4 off the board, and we still have one player in towards bar. So it's not looking good. There's only, I think, at least 1 or 2 players near that site. Baldy, he's rotating up through Master, but Joe Con, he, again, as I said, he doesn't slow down. He's consistently keeping up with frags. CRR's getting another one, and it's a 1 versus 5. Plants going down, and there we go. CRR finishes it out. It's flawless for Carnivora, and that is 3 points.
3 points indeed in the bag for Carnivora. X-Equo, you were bleeding manpower there at the end. You were losing them left and right, losing the gunfights, no refrags coming out, and that's what happens. You left Fabianski. Let me just look at the scoreboard here. You left, yes, Fabianski in a 1v5 who has had 0 kills this entire matchup. He needs to maybe load up some T-hunts, load up some aim chainers here, because that's honestly not a position you want to be in.
Yeah, I totally agree, especially with how dominant Carnivore were. They just shut him down consistently. Hopefully, he perks up for next week, though, Yannick. I mean, oh, that kind of performance doesn't bode well, especially for the mental. But I mean, it's been a good game day all in all. We can talk about all the games individually and what went wrong all day long. But I mean, I think all in all, it was a good spectacle to sit and watch and like kind of watch some exciting gameplay, some fragging happening at the end. So I mean, yeah. Do you have anything else to say, Yannick? Would you? What's your thoughts on the game day so far?
Honestly, seeing what X Equal got to bring on Villain last time, I expected a little bit more from them. I actually expected this to be a really close match. I was talking to you a bit about this
Yeah,
post before production, before the game started, and I said this might be the closest game of today. They were
yeah,
both teams that did perform, and X Equal performed last time on Villa. Carnivore not so much against Happy Team, but I squared them up to be even. But it ended up being the Carnivora show here. It ended up being Carnivora just taking it
yeah.
all away and taking it away. They're taking 3 points away from X equal.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of kind of maybe not upsets, but a lot of scores that we didn't expect. But I mean, I think that'd be a fair assumption so far. But we haven't seen enough of these players yet. We're going to be back soon. I think it's in next week's the next play day, isn't it? Before we see these players in action
No,
again, or is it
Friday.
Friday?
Well, these
Friday.
players are going to be next week, but Friday there's going to be more
Yeah,
open
yeah.
division.
Yeah, I meant more specifically more these players. But yeah, Friday, we've still got Friday to kind of have more open division, more exciting matches for you. We'll be back soon. I don't think ECS is back on Thursdays, are they, Yannick?
No, it's Friday again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just making sure I didn't want to
That's all good. I
yeah.
get it.
But anyway, I've been Cairo. This has been Yannick. Make sure you follow both the socials. You see them below on them names. Make sure you press that little follow button down below the little heart. And also make sure you follow ECS on all our socials. As I said, I've been Cairo. This has been Yannick. This has been ECS. See you later.